Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is us, Dragon's Greed Gaming, and you are joining us for yet another episode of our Alien Frontier War campaign as we dive into our next mission called Perchance to Dream. I am your host, the Great Unclean One. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, be sure you stop by the Facebook where we have all the latest news of the show, and stop by Apple Podcasts and iTunes, where we would love some 5-star reviews. Help us grow the channel. Did I tell you guys last week? One guy said in the comments of I think it was iTunes, the show cured his cancer. So that was very nice of him. I appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah, every now and then I manage to stumble across like old messages from God knows how long ago. So hey, 5 stars, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What else? Stop by YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe to us there. Leave a comment and all that good stuff. And check us out over on Spreaker where we host the podcast. And of course, as always, if you really like the show and you want to help support us a little bit further, if you want to chuck a few coins in the Dragon's Hoard, stop on over to our Patreon page where you can get yourself some cool rewards like early weekly access to all of our episodes and a exclusive Patreon campaign we have going on for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, along with some artwork every month from Kyle and others. So, and check us out over on our Discord channel. It's been hopping a little bit. We got a couple patrons there that have been lurking around for a while, so we thank you guys. It's always fun to talk shop. One of our listeners has started listening to our Warhammer Gallows Geist campaign. He's already on episode 10, and he's loving it. So, yeah, lots to keep you busy there. 88 episodes, I think it was. So, yeah, if you got a couple 100 hours to kill, that's where you start. So, anyway, thank you for coming back, and thank you for joining us. We've got lots of cool stuff in store for tonight. As always, we'll do our round table. Tell us who you are, who you're playing, and anything else you'd like to share with the listeners. As you guys can see, Matt is not joining us tonight. He's going to sit out this mission. So we're going to assume that Ogata was not part of the briefing last week. He said he might come back. He's going to be out of town for like a week and a half with a family reunion thing. So he's busy and stuff anyway. So he might come back for our next mission. We'll see when we get to that point, which by the time we get to that, it'll be after Gen Con anyway. So we got a couple weeks to get that done. Anywho, we'll start it off with Adam, our squad leader. Welcome back. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'll be playing our sergeant of the group, of course, Sergeant Gunther Schmidt. Let's see, I just spent the whole weekend pretty much cleaning. Freaking enjoying the 100-degree weather while sweating my balls off.
Nice. That does sound like fun.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right, cool. Eric, how about you? What's it like down in Texas tonight?
Probably not quite 100 today, but pretty close. But we've been kind of holed up inside, so we've been rebuilding one of the bathrooms.
Yeah. Okay.
But tonight I will be playing Lance Corporal Mike Tagar, the Assault Breacher, who's collecting weapons now. So just gonna keep stuffing things in my locker and don't let Mother find out.
Oh, that's fine. I don't think she'll mind too much. So. All right, cool. And then we've got Scaarr, also from Texas. We've got almost a coast-to-coast campaign here now. We just got to get somebody on the East Coast.
Then the world. I'm doing good. I'm nursing a hangover right now. Having a little hair of the dog to fix it.
What the fuck is hair of the dog? Is that more alcohol?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, sir. You never heard of have a little hair of the dog? It cures what ails you? To cure what ails you? Hair of the dog that bit you? Anyway, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I watched Long Legs today. Actually, just gotten back from the theater watching that.
How was it? I've heard good things.
I loved it. I thought it was a really fun movie. My brain's also broken then, so take that with a grain of salt. I could definitely see some people not liking it or just finding it flat out disturbing, but it was fun for me. But yeah, I love Nicolas Cage too. I love pretty much anything he does, even his bad movies.
Yeah, who doesn't?
I
Right? He's a
right,
national
like,
treasure.
it's
Oh, let's see what you did there.
I'm
Evidence.
playing private first class O'Connell, and I was trying to think of a fun nickname for killing an unarmed civilian, like corporate conqueror or
Corporal sociopath.
bitch bane. O'Connell bitch bane. I'm gonna go with that.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Harsh. But maybe fair? I don't know. We'll never know if she was infected. I'm just going to put that out there. So,
That's what I'm telling myself to sleep at night.
oh, you'll see what happened when you went to sleep. So, and then we have Sean, who listeners, yes, he actually does look infected. It's not a trick here. So we'll just get that out of the way right now. Because I'm sure people are going to be like, are you dying and or high?
Slowly dying. As soon as you hit like 26, all of your cells stop regenerating and you slowly begin dying. It's natural. It's just the process of aging. I popped a blood vessel in my eye, so now it's like bright red all the way across. So.
And how did you pop it again?
I got food poisoning for Monday and Tuesday and threw up so many times and so hard. The weak blood vessel in my eye just went.
Yeah.
Super cool. Yeah.
Understand. Food
I
poisoning
could feel
sucks.
something going wrong. I cleaned myself up, pushed myself up to the mirror and was like, oh no, that's tomorrow's problem. And then I went back to throwing up.
Oh God, man, that's fucking awful. I'm sorry
Yeah,
to deal with that.
Rough weekend, yeah. So I'm doing better. My voice is returning slowly. I will be playing Private Cruz with Alexander Cruz, the dedicated marksman. And something annoying that happened to me this weekend, I tried to play the Blood Bowl video game, Blood Bowl 3, on PlayStation.
Oh, there's your first mistake.
Yeah, big mistake. I downloaded the game, went through that stupid fucking long tutorial to go to start create a team, and I choose Skaven and try to name it something, and it's like, you can't do that because there's profanity in that name. And I was like, no, there's not. The word Skaven is not profane. And nothing I put in
doesn't exist either, though.
Well, okay, that's fair. But nothing I put in would let me create a team. So I literally just cannot play the game. So,
Blood Bowl 3 had a terrible launch.
yeah.
It's barely crawled out of its awful reviews. I think it's still at mostly negative or mixed, maybe. Blood Bowl 3 was a huge disaster, and it has not recovered, unfortunately. So I have tried to stay away from that because it did not look good, unfortunately.
Well, now I'm just not going to be able to play, so I'm just going to delete it and maybe download Blood Bowl 2 off Steam if it's cheap.
Did you buy it?
No, I was able to download it for free with a PlayStation Premium or whatever.
Oh, okay, good. You didn't pay money for it, then that's fine.
I'd better get my money back if I did. Some bullshit.
Okay, good. Well, I am your host, ladies and gentlemen, the great Unclean One. I apologize. My voice last week was kind of bad. I was starting to get sick, and now I know that because Sunday I was in the full throes of Grandfather Nurgle's sweet embrace, which only progressively got sweeter Monday through Wednesday. So sweet, in fact, I actually used sick days at work, which was nice, but I'm finally feeling a little bit, much better. My voice is more or less back to normal. There might be a little bit of congestion you hear, but the coughing and the dying have subsided. So for the most part, I'm back in the captain's chair, as they say. So luckily, I had this to look forward to all week. So this kept my will to live just enough to drag myself through the end of the week. So, and we have Gen Con in a week and a half. So,
oh man,
that's going to be as they say, tits. So good shit coming up. Good shit coming up. We might try to record something at Gen Con, but I don't know. It's very last minute, so I can't promise anything, listeners. Just with everything that's been going on in real life, and then trying to get all this sorted out, it's been a lot to deal with. So, but if we go next year, which I do plan to, then I can probably promise we'll do something then. So, but anyway, let's get back into some Alien. We had some crazy shit happening last time, and let me go through our little recap here. And not only for our listeners, but for Scaarr's benefit, since he was not here last week. And then we'll kind of go from there. So last we left, the group of you had finally made your way down to the lowest level of the mine, where the accident supposedly happened, an area called the basement, which is where they were mining out this new sublevel. And it turns out there was indeed an accident down here. They had hit some sort of gas pocket, which exploded and detonated all sorts of nasty shit. When you guys got down there, you finally encountered Captain Karambit of the Black Guard, and to your surprise, it turns out he was the missing medtech from Mr. Ishigara's medtech group this whole time. He was watching a group of what you eventually learned were cultists from the cult known as the Children of the Two Divines, a splinter group, some might say a terrorist splinter group of the cult / organization that calls themselves the Church of Immaculate Incubation. There was a group of about 14 or so of them. One standing about knee-high in the goo. So when you guys got down there, Scaarr, almost the entire lower level was covered in bubbling black goo, which was very slowly rising. And there were dozens, if not hundreds, of these urns floating about and thrown all over the place. And you guys could tell that there was dried black glue up on the walls and the ceiling, as if there had been a big black goo explosion. One of these cultists, who was clearly in charge of this group, was standing in the goo, knee-high, in her compression suit, preaching a sermon to the other cultists, who were kind of standing on a semicircle with their backs to you. You guys took cover with Karambit as you watched, and she went on and on preaching her doomsday-type nonsense. And then she took her helmet off, tossed it in the goo, and then the other cultists, aside from 3 guards who were actually armed, all began to strip out of their compression suits and walk into the goo to start to be baptized one by one in the goo. And once the first one was plunged into the goo and didn't come up for about 30 seconds, you guys said, we're not going to wait for the rest of the Black Guard. We are taking care of this problem now. And you guys opened fire with your sergeant heroically marching into the goo by himself to fight the cultists in glorious hand-to-hand combat. And then Karambit showing you how it's done and doing a full auto action that took out, I think, 5 cultists in one shot. It was awesome. It was awesome. For the most part, the fight went your way. There were a few panics towards the end, but luckily Ogata popped some nap relief on himself, and I think it was Cruz. And eventually, you guys got the group back down to under control, and you killed the last of the cultists who was mutating into the monster as the Black Guard showed up. So, after dispatching them, the Black Guard started to gather up some of these urns, and they revealed to Sergeant Schmidt that they were indeed sent on UA orders to recover these urns. They did not tell you more than that. They then began to string up C4 blasting charges, and it was not long before you guys made your way back to the upper levels of the mine, back on the surface. You met back up with Ishigara and his group and the miners that you rescued, and eventually the entire mine went down in a plume of smoke and explosions as the Blackguard destroyed the entire mine shaft from lowest level to upper level. They then hopped on their black unmarked Cheyenne dropship and took off with probably at least a dozen of those urns, if not more. At this point, you guys helped do a little bit of cleanup and, ferrying people up to the medical frigate. It turns out none of the infected ever made it to the frigate. You guys were lucky in that regards, and you seem to have contained the infection. Eventually, you guys met up with the Tambatam at a location called, what was it, GL 5833 or something like that, where you guys met back up with the Tambatan, got back on board, and then headed out towards your new destination for your next mission. In between this, we did downtime, so we had a chance to spend experience. We'll get to yours in a second here, Scaarr. But everybody had a chance to do downtime, which means you get to roll a downtime event and then spend your experience. You got a bunch of new talents and or spent experience to raise some of your skills. And we had some interesting little story beats starting to emerge. Ogata, his training took so much of his time, and he had so many extra duties with this strange black goo now becoming a part of the equation that you guys didn't really see him for most of that downtime. His social life was basically nothing. Tagar, unfortunately, received some bad news from home. His brother Logan doing a vid call and explaining that his father Steve had a really bad fall, broken a hip, and now needs some surgery, which they're a little worried about because of his age, and it is expensive. And then who was it? Oh, Cruz. You had probably the most interesting in that you made an enemy of someone at the base, and I did a little thinking about this, and as I told you, you've kind of improved me to make a backstory for one of the NPCs that's in the other section. So you had pissed off Sarah Halifax. She is one of the assault breachers on second section. Mm-hmm. And what happened is your training went very well. No problems. I believe you were training with Tagar, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And what happened is at one point you said to Tagar, like, man, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. And when Halifax overheard that seemed to piss her off for some reason royally. Tagar, you don't know much about her other than she's an assault marine like you are. So you think that, like, obviously she has some chip on her shoulder that, she obviously thinks Cruz could not do what you guys do. He's a long-range marksman. You guys are meant to get up in personal. You guys carry RPGs and those heavy-ass shields, so you guys carry a lot of gear compared to most of the other Marines. So she seems to have it out for Cruz now, and he is definitely in her crosshairs. You also probably all noticed when this happened, mostly Tagar and Cruz, because you two would have been there when she confronted him. Especially to you, Cruz, you're like, okay, I get, like, there's a little bit of pride here maybe, but especially to you, it seems like she might even be overreacting to some regards. But again, you guys don't know much about her, so you're not sure, but that's the impression that you got. Tagar, maybe you got that impression. I mean, you would get the impression, like, you understand why she might be a little pissed. There's, like someone from another specialty, like, trying to learn what you guys do. But yeah, she seems to have targeted Cruz now for because she outranks him. So, and our Sergeant Schmidt, his training went perfectly. No hiccups. It went super smooth. You basically took to it like a fish to water. So what I've decided, Adam, is the training was so easy and so smooth for you. It's actually going to be one less experience point for you to spend. So you can take back an experience point as it just came natural to you. I don't remember what you got, though. Was it tough?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to focus in on O'Connell here. So you would have a chance to spend some experience. And the way experience gets spent is really quite simple. There are two things you can do. You can you can do both of these if you have enough. For every 5 experience, you can attempt to learn a talent, or you can increase one of your skills by 1 point, 1 level. In order to level up a skill, if it's a skill you currently have 0 ranks in, one of 2 things has to have happened. You either have to have used that skill during the previous mission and succeeded, or you have to find another character, a teacher, who has at least 1 rank in that skill to teach you. If it's a skill you already currently have, you don't have to do any prerequisites, you just spend the experience. The other thing is you can try to learn new talents. They're also 5 XP per talent. If you find a teacher who currently has the talent, it's automatic. You don't have to make any rolls. If it's a talent that you don't have a teacher for, then you have to make a wits roll, just straight wits, every day. And once you get at least 1 success, you learn the talent. You only have to spend the XP once, but you don't actually learn the talent until you pass that wits test. So with that in mind, how much XP do you currently have?
I have 10 worth. I've got like 12 or so. I've got 10 at least. I recall I doing observation checks. I don't remember if I succeeded in one. I do remember, and I remember doing a manipulation. God, I wish there was a quick way to go through the chat log. Might be something I need to track as we go along from here forward.
Yeah, I don't see a way to. You can jump to the bottom, but not.
Yeah, we definitely made a bunch of observations for sure.
Also, it only seems to go back 2 weeks. The last one I can
so
go to was 13 days ago. So
lesson learned. To try
okay.
in a campaign to do these things as we go, or keep track of them as we go.
Yeah. Well, you can definitely find another Marine who has the observation skill. I'm sure there's one even in your squad, because most of you guys learned your talents off of each other.
I do have 2, so.
Yeah. So observation. Does anybody have points in manipulation? Okay. So that you might have to find.
I have 1 in manipulation.
Oh, then there you go. You can get training from either of them, so you don't have to do the wits roll. And remember, the wits roll is only for talents, not for skills.
Oh, okay. Cool. What's your manipulation?
My manipulation is 1.
Oh, just 1. Okay.
Empathy is 4, so.
I think it'd be prudent to get an observation, and I want to, and then probably up my ranged combat.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Keep it simple.
Oh, also, I've got my Decepticon shirt that I got from Universal.
Very nice.
Today, yeah, and I finally got the Decepticon logo on the back of my car now too. So quite awesome.
Quite cool.
Okay, so that's what you're going to level up: ranged combat and manipulation.
Yes.
Okay.
Manipulation
So-
or observation?
Observation. Sorry.
Observation.
I was doing something and just nodding at whatever he said.
Yes.
Oh my god, that reminds me. I have to point this out because this was funny as fuck. So, You guys know I always give Scaarr shit because he always asks questions about shit that I just explained like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And,
One time.
it's literally like every session.
Maybe
it's fine,
2
though.
times.
It's fine. So, like 2 days ago, we're chatting in Discord, and Adam is going off on a
Oh,
tangent
God.
about something that he wants to do at Gen Con or stuff. I don't remember what it was, but he got done saying it, and I'm like also having a conversation with Scaarr at the same time. And we're like also in like a private channel just talking to each other, and then we're in this channel that's like a bunch of people. And Scaarr at one point goes, he says something like, what's this you're talking about, Adam? And to be fair, Scaarr was kind of late to this conversation, so that was fair. But then like Adam's just like, just scroll up like 4 messages. And like all I could think of was like one of our RPG sessions where it's like, wait, what just happened? And then it'll be like literally just after I got done finishing saying something. It was like happening in real time, only in text. It was the funniest
Look,
shit
if
ever.
somebody asks you that question when what they just said is a few messages above, they're asking for clarification or more details, okay?
Yeah, and what he pointed out, he like copy and pasted something, and it was like that I can tell what he just posted is not going to clarify this to Scaarr at all, because looking at it from his perspective, that's just telling him what he just asked that he knew. He needs more info. But it was so funny because I was just like, oh my god.
Turns
So-
out I was talking about something completely different anyway.
It was, yeah. So it's a good thing you asked,
Vindicated.
because you guys were like on 2 separate like entities. So, anywho, that is that. Okay. Second was, I think it was our events that we rolled, and I believe I rolled for O'Connell. Okay, yes, here it is. So O'Connell, I rolled on the events table for you, because when you do downtime, if you spend XP, you roll on a table for a personal downtime event. If you don't spend XP, then you roll on downtime that affects the entire squad, like what the squad gets up to. So everybody rolled their own separate one, and the one that I rolled for you is the PC gets a chance to further his agenda. So, this is what happens during the 3 to 5 days between last mission and this mission. You get a message. Mother tells you have a message waiting, and it is a correspondence from Mr. Ishigara.
Okay.
Basically, for lack of a better term, it's like a letter. It might be a video call, but it's just a message. So it's not him like waiting on a call. It's something he sent to you to listen to or read.
Okay. You're sending that to me privately, I'm assuming.
It's up to you.
Well, I mean, if it's telling me like, "Hey, your sergeant is a double agent with Wei Yu,"
No, it's nothing like that. So
Okay.
this can probably be public knowledge. Whether you share it with the group is up to you. But basically, what it says is, once again, and this happened at the end of the session too. He was very thankful to you guys for all your help, and he wished you all the best. And he said, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you don't have to deal with any more weird shit like this. So once again, he says, hope you're doing well, staying safe out there. And he says, that after all the shit that happened, he basically says he's going to try to do a little digging to see if he can find out anything else about if there's any connection with Weyland-Yutani and this black goo or these urns. And he basically says, like, if you want, I'll keep you in the loop.
Absolutely. I will respond, and yeah, absolutely. And granted, um, it's not military intelligence. I will relay the same on my findings.
Okay, we'll assume you get a message back that he basically thanks you for that. He wasn't expecting that. You can tell, again, based on your rapport you got with him and just discussing things with him, that he seems like a stand-up guy and he wants to get to the bottom of things. And he says he'll keep you informed if he gets any useful information. So, yeah. If you want, you can probably set up something a little bit like more secure, some sort of private message or private channel with him that maybe doesn't go through as many eyes. I mean, it depends how secretive you want to be.
Space pigeons.
It's going to take a long time to get those messages.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do something more secure with him for sure.
Okay, then.
I've got contact. I can do things, right?
I was going to say, if it's something you want to do yourself, it'll be a contact roll. If you want to try to maybe use a connection you might have in the squad or the fleet, something like that, then I was going to say probably like a manipulation roll to see if you can get someone who can help you that you trust.
Yeah. Kyle's a bit abrasive, so his manipulation skills aren't great, but his contact skills are all right. So I'll probably do go that route.
Okay. Then I will let you pick. You can do a comtech at -1, 2, or 3. The bigger negative you take, the more secure your messages will be. If you do a 3, the odds of anybody getting their hands on this is slim to none. And if they do, it would be heavily encrypted and require some serious hacking.
Yeah, we'll just do -1. I'm not that great.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, God.
Nice. Okay. All right. Then, you have something that doesn't just go through like the general mail, we'll say. It's something more direct to you. There's still a trail. If somebody, Mother probably still logs it, but it's not something that everybody knows about. So, maybe something on the equivalent of like what a squad leader or maybe a lower level officer would have as far as security goes. So, above the general riffraff. All right. The second thing is, so if you look at our map here, you guys were at, where was it? You guys were here at GJ 1230, Sahara, and you then made your way to GL 884. This is where you met up with the Tambatan, and you then took the Tambatan to this area right here, GJ 1265. You're heading to a planet in that system called Symbaris. And if we recall from last week, the mission that Casados has informed you about is that you have received an encoded message from the colony there. Before I get to that, though, I do want to point out, mostly for Scaarr's benefit, all of you once again had these terrible, terrible dreams on your way when you're in cryosleep. And once again, it seems like O'Connell is affected the worst. You're not sure why, but when you wake up from cryosleep, O'Connell, everybody can tell, and you can feel once again like you have not slept. It's an awful feeling. But I wanted to go into more details about exactly what your dream was. So now that you're here, we can do that. And of course, I think we need something a little bit creepier for music here. So what happens is you're asleep, and you once again find yourself in this dark, never-ending black tunnel. some of it looks like it's covered in the black goo. Other parts of it look mechanical. Other parts of it look organic, like you're inside a living creature that's like dying. You know, like if you were like inside a lung that was dying from like, you know, lung cancer from smoke. It's that black sickly color. And you feel like you're traveling down this path, this hallway for forever. And there's rubble and detritus all over the place. There's a thick black smoke, maybe a fog, maybe a mist, you're not sure. But in the distance, you can see a shape. And the shape quickly, or not quickly, but slowly becomes a silhouette of somebody who is standing with their back to you, and they're crouched down, almost like maybe on one knee, that they're looking at something on the ground. And as you get closer to this shape, you can't help but feel like you need to find out who this is. When you get closer, the form takes more of a definitive shape, and you can tell it's a humanoid. And on closer inspection, you can tell it's a female. You can see wider hips, you know, smaller torso, and it is, you recognize this person. It's your wife, Marjorie. You can tell, what color's Marjorie's hair?
Oh, red.
Okay, all right. Wow, so
We're
you're
keeping
full,
the ginger strain.
you're full
Keep the
ginger.
ginger strain going.
Okay, so full house of soulless entities. Okay, understood. So you recognize the red hair. You know, she's got it up however she normally. How does she wear it? Ponytail, down, bob,
French braid.
French braid. Okay.
Okay.
So
Is
You
that too
recognize
specific?
no, that's perfect. It's
Yes,
perfect.
great.
You recognize it, right? And you go to see what she's looking at. You put your hand on her shoulder, and she stands up. And as she does, she begins to turn her head towards you. But when she turns her head, it is not your wife's face. It is that of General Manager Mystery. And her face goes from that sickly look that she had right before the end. She's pale, she's sweating, there's dark rings under her eyes, and in what seems like an instant, she goes from looking deathly sick to terminally ill. Her hair just falls out in clumps, turns white, and then just is gone. Her skin gets really tight, almost like it's being stretched, and it's almost like the skin just disappears. It almost becomes like translucent until it's just her screaming skull screaming in your face. And that's when you wake up. So once again, when you wake up, you have a point of stress that seems to not go away, no matter how much you try to rest before the next mission.
Okay. Do we all wake up together, I'm assuming?
More or less, yeah. Typical. You guys all came out of cryo at the same time.
Do we sleep in like one giant cryopod just cuddled up?
Yeah, try to.
It's one massive hammock.
At
Yeah.
this point, yeah, that's what I would be doing. I'm not sleeping alone with all this fucking crazy shit going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you guys do notice that the rest of the section is here. So the full 10, 11 people are here, and they are being woken out of cryo as well.
Does our ship have a commissary? I would imagine it has something, maybe something like that. I don't know. Practically live here, right? It's like a massive base.
A commissary in what regards? Because I've heard that term used in different ways. So what do you envision when you say commissary?
If we want to spend money to get anything that's not like rations and shit, like candy bar or
Yes.
6-pack.
Yeah.
I wake up
Oh,
sweating
you know what?
profusely.
That reminds me. You just reminded me about the money question. So,
right.
Sean, I looked into the money thing. According to the rules, Marines will generally make around $500 to $760 a week. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Now, I thought a lot about this, if I should worry too much about this, and I don't think in a Marine campaign your actual money is going to become a big issue. And I also thought, well, you're probably not necessarily getting paid weekly. I would imagine in the awfulness that is the alien universe, you still get paid only every 2 weeks, if not worse.
Not every 6 months.
Yeah. And for you guys, that's probably going to be even more strict because you're soldiers, right? It's not like you can like go do like some side hustle and get some extra money, right? Or things like that. So for sake of ease, the EXP question at the end of each session, did you earn money? If you earned money in another way that's a substantial amount, we'll count that. But otherwise, we're going to assume you guys are going to get paid after every mission. All right? Whether it's a couple days or a couple weeks, I don't want to keep track of that stuff too much. So, all intents and purposes, all of you take an extra point of experience because you completed the mission and you got paid. Also, Scaarr, I forgot, you guys were all awarded with bronze stars on behalf of Secretary de la Cruz herself. Lieutenant Casados explained to you guys. She was very impressed with the amount of people that you guys rescued. And you guys were all awarded bronze stars.
Nice.
And I you know what? I realized there's one other thing I forgot here. I'm looking at all my side notes. Actually, 2 things. Bunnilla.
Yes.
What have you done with Mysteries PDAT? Because you have it, but you realized you don't have you need to hack it somehow to get access to whatever's on here. So you guys have had at least a day or two, like I said, about 5 days between the end and beginning of this mission. So how do you want to handle that?
I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it to O'Connell, since he's got some comm tech, and see if he can fiddle with it a little bit to hack into it. If not, I'm gonna try to look for a someone on board.
Okay. Well, you would know that other than giving it to one of the Comtech Marine, okay, I'll put it this way. If you want to keep this on the DL, you probably want to keep it to one of the soldiers and not go above into the officers. That being said, if you do, you'll probably want to pick out one of the Comtech Marines, which there is I believe Eric's backup character, Scaarr, is a Comtech Marine, so he's part of the same section as you guys. So he actually would be out of cryosleep right now. And there is another Comtech Marine in second section named Corporal Carvalho. Also, you would know that the synthetic, the android Herschel, Weaver's co-pilot, is pretty handy when it comes to electronics and computers. You know that's one of his specialties. Basically, you know he's designed to do heavy machinery and comtech. Those are like what he's designed for, and he's pretty good at it, both of them. So those would probably be your best options.
Do I trust an android to keep secrets?
I mean, do you trust an android, period? Shady fuckers.
Okay, I think I'm gonna go ahead with Scaarr then. I'm gonna bring it over to Scaarr and get that figured out.
All right. Well, we will share Scaarr's artwork then, since we have some here. And Eric, if you want to tell us anything about Scaarr, go right ahead.
Okay, put me in the spot, why don't you?
Hey, he's your backup character, not mine.
I know, but I'm not dead yet.
He doesn't have a personality until my main dies.
Yeah, his personality module doesn't unlock until the other character dies.
Exactly.
He's a tech guy. He doesn't talk to anybody.
I'm sitting over here writing out backstories for NPCs that may never see the light of day.
Because Sean pissed them off.
Yeah, right. I can't control
I'm actually going to use because one of the one shot that I'm running at Gen Con is one of the missions that you guys will eventually go on in this campaign.
Oh.
So I'm going to use characters from Section 2 as the NPCs.
Very cool.
So
Okay.
that's called working smarter, not harder, right there.
Now I have.
Into our resources.
Is that why I have a second section character?
Yeah. Those are. Do you guys have any of them? I don't know which ones you might be able to see at this point.
I can see one.
Who is it?
Yeah.
Private Rakish.
Yeah.
That's what I got too.
Private. Oh, Rakish.
Rakish.
That's because I had Matt has been helping me fill out some of the stats for these guys.
What AI art module did you use for his art? That looks really good.
That one actually, Adam did a couple of these for me.
Oh, okay.
So he did that one. That's Private Hassan Rakesh. He's a forward observer.
Very cool.
Yeah, I like that he's actually got some spaceships and stuff in the background there.
Yeah.
So, and then Scaarr, since you weren't here, this is Corporal Sarah Halifax. This is the one that Sean pissed off.
She looks
angry.
pissed off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I piss her off? Or
That is
was I just an
my
outlet for
mom
her?
when I'm in trouble right there, 100%. Like that is the mom angry look.
Yeah.
Like a slight like frustration, a little bit of anger, and a little bit of disappointment.
Oh,
That's
there's
what that
definitely
is.
disappointment in that look. You can see
Right.
it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
No.
I know the look well.
The AI art isn't always good, but that one. And here's another one Adam did for us. This is PFC Angela DuBois. She is a CBRN Marine, just like Adam's character.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And then
Just a weirdly long neck, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Is she an alien or an
I
android?
mean,
Hard to say.
I've seen some people with long necks like that, like in real life. So I don't think it looks that out of place, to be
okay.
honest.
Then you met an extraterrestrial.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, there are people that look like they have no neck.
And then that's true.
Yeah.
What's his name from?
Big Ed. Big Ed.
Mandy's head.
Oh.
And then I'll show you this one too, because Ogata's character was training with the sergeant of one of the squads in second section, whose name is Frank Green. He is also a hospital corpsman. And where's his artwork? We'll share that with you guys too.
Okay.
Looks like he headbutt me into oblivion.
Yeah, I don't know why, but every time that I do the artwork, it like gives like the characters random like blood stains or like fucking like war paint. I'm
What
not sure
keywords
why.
are you using like
No,
warrior?
No, I'm just like this one. It was supposed to be a cross between Frank West and Chuck Green from the Dead Rising
Oh,
series.
that's why they're always covered in blood.
Um,
Come on.
but like when I
can
did
see
like
that.
when I did like Karambit's art, I was just like, like sci-fi soldier. I didn't say anything about like blood or goo or anything like that. It was just like, yeah, let's give him some black shit on his face. So
Have you guys seen my synthetics art that I was able to come up with? Elijah's.
Oh yeah, I haven't. We haven't shared it.
It took
Here's
me a
Elijah.
long time to get that.
That looks great.
Yeah. A little bit of bishop in there.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really solid.
Still waiting for artwork for PFC Broderick, whoever's character that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, whoever Broderick's
What's his
player character is.
backstory? What's he like?
Broderick, he's a pretty hard ass. He's a APV Marine or whatever. He drives a truck, so he really connects with the poorer, more downtrodden people of the UA. He's got like an American flag in the back of his truck, and he always sings like
Tattooed on
red
his ass.
reggae songs. Yeah. He's actually got it as a tramp stamp on his back. If you ever see him like doing some mechanic work.
Oh boy.
Very
Bet
nice.
he drives around with a red baseball cap too.
Yeah. Make space empty again.
All right. So, okay. So, Scaarr, you've been approached by the sergeant of one of the other squads. And what do you ask him? What do you tell him?
Hey, Scaarr, I got a little gift for you to work on. It's a little PDAD that I picked up from previous mission that I need you to break into.
Break into? What do you mean picked up?
I want to keep it as confidential as possible, but it's
one
pretty
of
much
those.
it was an upper manager on a mission that ended up getting squirrely, and I wanted to make sure there's no information on there that can correlate with what we found up on that planet.
Yeah.
Scaarr, you would notice it is a PDAT that has the Weyland-Yutani logo on it.
Okay. Yeah. I can take a look. Who knows about this?
Just me and my boys.
Okay. Yeah, give me a little bit of time. I'll find you.
You know how to reach me.
All right, Scaarr. I'm going to need a ComTech at -1 to try to hack this thing. It's not too hard. It looks like it's a little bit more than getting through some basic security. You're assuming probably because, as he said, it's a Weyland-Yutani rep. So it makes sense. It's probably a little bit more. But as you're going through it, you're realizing it's probably not going to be too hard to get through. So it'll only be -1. Okay. Well done. So you are able to hack into it. And basically what you are able to get for you, Adam, you can confirm mystery story about getting orders from someone else in Weyland-Yutani are true. So you find a message or messages that are very vague, and they basically say what she said. They said, like, be on the lookout for metallic urn-like objects. Very nondescript. Now, if you'd like, you can attempt another ComTech to try to figure out who sent this message. That, though, you can tell is going to be a lot more difficult. It's going to be a -3 ComTech roll.
Oof. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Okay.
Nice. You feeling lucky, punk? Are you?
I have one question, though.
Too easy.
How did you only roll 2 less dice when it was minus? Oh, because it was
-1 on the first
you're
one.
right, You're right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. So it takes you a long time. There's some heavy encryption. It's very clear that whoever sent the messages did not want them traced back. But you are able to find out it comes from a Weyland-Yutani company agent by the name of Kent Gannon.
Dwarf. Sorry.
You're unable to get any more information, but that is, you can confirm. At least that's the name that's, like, on the email header when you're able to finally get to it.
Yeah. Scan, I appreciate the hard work you put into that.
Yeah. Just,
at this point,
remember that next time you need a ComTech Marine.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll make sure to bring all the fine gear that we find, and mechanical stuff for you.
Perfect.
And then at this point, did O'Connell mention to us about the messages between him and what's his name?
So,
It's up to
well,
O'Connell.
when we came out of cryo, O'Connell woke up and like covered in sweat.
Yeah, we can get to that point. You can tell
Probably-
it's similar to the first time you guys came out of cryo. Everybody's a little groggy, but O'Connell looks physically distraught.
And instead of acting tough or what he did last time to shrug it off, he gets dressed and goes straight to the commissary.
Okay. What do you do when you get there?
And he's gonna try to acquire a pack of cigarettes.
You can do that. Not hard to do.
Kyle hasn't smoked really before in front of anybody, so but he's starting now.
Okay.
An old Irishman. Okay.
Pick it, high or low?
High. Keep the tradition.
All right, there we go. When you're getting ready to light this thing up, you actually run into Weaver. Says, is this something no one has ever seen you smoke, or no one thinks you smoke? What's the perception most of the crew would have?
He doesn't smoke.
Okay, all right.
But he's like his fatigue's like practically half on, and he's still like a mess. He hasn't really gussied up for the day.
So as you're maybe trying to get this thing out of the package, maybe your hands are shaking a little bit from the lack of sleep. You hear her voice, and she's up against the wall with her arms crossed, kind of leaning and kind of looking at you with a perplexed look. And she says, "I didn't take you for a smoker."
Yeah, well, first time for anything, right?
I suppose. Everything all right?
He kind of looks off, like he's thinking about something. Doesn't answer.
She's like, "All right. Well, to each his own. But maybe clean yourself up a bit, O'Connell. You're usually the best put together out of this group."
Yeah. And he's just short. Leaves. O'Connell, who, normally you can't shut him up.
Okay. All right. As you guys are getting ready for things, you guys have a couple hours before you're going to be at Symbaris. Cruz, you actually get a message from Mother, and it says you have an incoming call, high priority, and basically there's like a place where you guys can go to take like private vid calls.
Yeah. Go there and find out what's going on.
So you get it's like a separate booth or like a separate room, so you have some privacy. And there's like a little screen that comes up, turns on, and you can see it is an incoming call from your cousin, the Secretary of Defense.
He straightens up all of his attire, makes sure his hair's better than just waking up from cryo, and then he'll answer.
You see her. It looks like she's sitting at a desk, probably in one of her many offices. She's got her, military uniform on. As always, very nicely dressed. Her hair is very well put together in like a big braid that she usually wears it in. And, she looks, she looks a little like she's got a little dark circles under the eyes. You know that she's the type that is a bit of a workaholic. And she greets you with a big smile, and she says, "Private, Thank you so much for your time.
He'll do like a crisp salute, ma'am.
She says, I just wanted to personally congratulate you and your squad on all your success back in the Grandi Domes.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and the award you gave us all was greatly appreciated by the rest of the squad as well.
Well, you all deserve it. We need more soldiers like that care more about just blowing stuff up and shooting things, you know? Our jobs are more than just warfare, despite what some may say.
Yeah, we're here to protect and serve, right? So that's what we're gonna do.
And you see she seems to like kind of loosen up a bit. Maybe she was just waiting to see how you reacted. But you feel like the tone becomes a little bit more familial. And she says, Uncle Dominguez was I think more excited than your parents when I told him about the award.
Well, he's always like that, but I'm glad someone was excited.
Everybody is happy, shall we say? I'm surprised he wasn't ever in the military with how amped he gets about some of these things. But yeah, unfortunately, I haven't been home in a while, as you may have guessed. But I do get to talk to them from time to time. So your folks send their regards.
Send it back to them, and well, maybe you should take a bit of rest yourself as well.
Oh, I can't do that. First, Admiral of the Fleet, and now all this with the Council. Someone's got to try to keep General Vaughn and some of the others from, overstepping their bounds, as they say.
Yeah, I know you can do it, but you can't do it if you pass out, right?
I think I'm used to it at this point. It's just the life we live. Someone's got to do it. Plus, there's a lot at stake with all this border bombing talk and, the UPP and... Vaughn's convinced it's the UPP. She's got half the council thinking the same thing, and maybe it is them, but, well... Even if it is, I don't think firing off more shots is necessarily the best way to go about it.
Yeah, avoiding a bigger war is always better, right?
Well, that's what I try to tell these people, and some of them think that I'm just a pacifist with no spine.
I've seen you beat the shit out of our cousins, so I know that's not true.
Well, let's keep that between just you, me, and the wall, shall we? And Mother, I'm sure she's listening. But yeah, I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing. It sounds like that last mission got a little strange.
Yeah, it was a little weird for sure.
She said, "I've heard a lot about this cult, and they've been making a lot of big waves. It's alarming to hear that they might be involved in some of this,
Yeah.
But they claim that they're responsible for the border bombings, but I have to tell you, I don't buy that. There's no way an outfit like them would have the resources to destroy entire colonies.
Right. Yeah, maybe small outposts with like suicide bombers, but Fort Nebraska, I can't see it.
No. Maybe if they had a nuke, but this black goo I keep hearing about, I don't know.
Just to be clear, as far as Cruz knows, Nebraska was nuked, right?
Well, that's what it looked like. Yeah, everybody was like, "Holy shit!" Like,
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's your understanding.
Yeah.
Well, eventually she says, well, I know you're about to get deployed on another mission here, so give my regards to your squad. Again, my congratulations. Keep up the good work, and do the Marines and the family proud.
Always.
Uncle Domingo wanted me to tell you that one for certain. So
I'll send him back a souvenir if I get one. That's cleared to go back home.
He would get a kick out of that, I'm sure. All right. Well, you stay safe out there, cuz.
Thanks. Get some rest when you can, and keep pushing back against those crazy people.
And with that, she bids you farewell, and you soon find yourself probably rejoining the rest of the section as you guys are getting ready for the mission. So Scaarr, and as a quick refresher, Casados told you guys your next mission. She said, I'll just go over it again. About 3 days ago, Command received an encoded message from Azura colony on the planet of Symbaris in the GJ-1265 system. It's old code, something the UA doesn't use anymore, but it's been confirmed that it's legit. Apparently, the UPP have seized the colony and are searching for an android of theirs that went rogue. Our contact on Azura is a retired Marine, Lieutenant Hank Morgan. He's the one that managed to get the message out. Says the android claims to have escaped from UPP control and has vital intel that would be of great interest to the UA. The droid wants to trade this intel for safe passage from the colony. We're sending your squad in. Meet up with the LT at the Gatekeeper's bar, locate the synth, and confirm the intel. Then report what you learn. Enemy strength is unknown, so this is a covert op. You'll be sent in as a regular resupply ship for the colony. Keep a low profile and be careful. And then she further explained you guys are going to get fake credentials. You feel free to come up with the name of who your fake credential is. But you're going in on a unmarked production model Cheyenne dropship, which is the same as what you guys normally use, except this one does not have any weapon systems and it has a smaller cargo hold, so no room for your APC. The supplies you're going to have hidden sections on the bottom. You basically can take the tray out that all the goods are in, and underneath that is where your gear is going to be stored. So you guys can still take your usual gear, your armor, your weapons and such, but it's going to be hidden. And then you guys have to try to find this lieutenant and the droid and go from there. And Casados explained that unless absolutely necessary, she does not want you guys confronting UPP or getting into a firefight unless there is no other alternative, because she's afraid that the UPP is going to get trigger happy and start killing civilians, and that's something she does not want. And she stressed the importance now that you guys have earned those bronze stars, that there are other eyes upon you other than just hers. So you guys need to what's the term I'm looking for? Represent the Marines to your best ability. And Weaver showed you guys how the supply crates work. So how you actually open and then take out the fake part. I mean, the supplies you guys are bringing are real. It's just that the shelves underneath are fake, and you can take them out, and then your gear will be down there. So with that in mind, you guys will have a chance to, if you want to try to requisition other gear, you can, but you have to decide what you want to take on this mission, and then we will go from there. Or Scaarr, if you have any other questions, since you weren't here last time when you guys got the brief. Or I guess if anybody has questions.
I do have a question about the NSG-23, the
Yes.
assault rifle.
Mhm.
So we have, I mean, I have one reload left. Is it possible to get more reloads, or once?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll assume whatever ammo it uses, you guys have access to, so that's no problem.
Okay.
And Mother will let you take an extra reload or two, no problem. But if you want to have more than a total of 3, you'll probably have to put in a requisition request for that. Especially because this one they're considering is a covert op, so they don't expect you to have to use a lot of ammunition. But
Yeah.
we'll say normally you guys can always take up to 3 reloads for any of your standard gear. If it's any sort of grenades or explosives, that will require requisition tests.
What about my NSG-23 I got?
Please don't tell me you're serious about that, Scaarr.
Eric, what did you just ask about?
Whether or not we could get reloads for the NSG-23.
It's not my standard gear.
Oh my god! You've got to be trolling me. There's no way.
Oh man,
Forget I said anything.
You can't make this shit up.
it only happened once, guys. One time.
You can get up to 3 reloads for the NSG-23.
Thanks.
And the
I already put it in there because I knew the answer.
The other one I was going to ask about is the incinerator. Does that one need reloads, or does that run out of ammo?
It's a fuel canister you screw into the bottom.
Okay.
And it reloads work the same way.
Same
as
way.
far
Okay.
as if you panic when you're shooting it, you burn through the whole canister, and that's standard too because incinerators are standard for the Marines.
Okay.
I mean, they're so standard. Most colonies have incinerators because they're also used as tools, not just weapons. So yeah, incinerator ammo is totally normal.
Okay.
And each reload, I think is considered a small item. It's like, I think up to 4 of them count as like 1 item slot for encumbrance purposes.
Okay.
But yeah, for your regular weapons, usually not a big deal.
Does that include my RPG launcher?
No, the RPG is separate because those are like separate missiles that you basically put into. It's basically like a bazooka.
Okay.
So you put the missile in or screw it in or something and then launch it. So it's single shot. So those you do have to get requisitioned because not only are they like big and cumbersome, so like carrying multiples, it's like, I mean, each missile's probably like that, right?
Yeah.
Like the size of
Okay.
like maybe like
So count those as like
I would say probably like the size of like a pro NFL football, maybe a little bit bigger. So like it's kind of awkward to have multiples of them,
Okay.
And keep in mind they're metal, so they're heavy as shit. I mean, comparatively, So yeah, those, if you want more than 1, you'll have to get requisition request for that.
And then the grenade launcher is just based off of how many grenades I have. Or
Yeah, because the grenade launcher is part of the assault rifle.
yeah. So does that shoot actual grenades or grenade rounds?
You use either. We just use the same thing because they have the exact same stats. So for simplicity, a grenade for the grenade launcher and the hand grenade just use the same item, same stats, same everything.
Okay.
I would like to requisition the M314 motion tracker.
Okay, I don't think she'd have any problem with that. You can take a motion tracker.
Cool.
Is that the one with 3 power or 5 power?
I think it's the bigger one that has 5 power, because the other one has to be attached to like a weapon.
Okay, I was going to say that one because it's more high tech. That one would require a test because it hooks onto the weapon.
Right.
But the one you're getting is like the industrial standard one, so that's no problem.
Right. And
then obviously it'll start with 5 power.
Sick.
She won't give you like a half depleted battery.
Why?
Thanks, mother.
And then I would request like a service pistol.
Yeah, you can take that.
Sweet. Oh, maybe I should go for a revolver.
Might be a little harder to get. I don't think that's really standard issue in the Marines.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the best gun ever.
Right. The revolver just looks cool.
Can I request like binoculars, or maybe a scope, or both?
Binoculars, yes. Scope will require a test.
What is the test?
I would say, because we're dealing with Mother, either a Comtech or a manipulation.
Okay. I will try a manipulation to get the revolver.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And no. Okay, yes, you can take the revolver instead of the pistol if you'd like.
All right, sweet.
She'll still let you take one, so it's one or the
Right.
other.
Yeah.
And it's mostly because they're limited in supply.
Sure.
And usually that's like something like an officer might, pull their weight or throw their weight around to do. Hey, you're buddies with the logistics officer, right? Isn't that your thing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you probably get it from him actually rather than Mother, because she's like, yeah, that's not standard. We don't have those.
Why do you need a revolver, sir?
Yeah.
Make big hole at short range.
Yeah, but your boy, whose name was Sergeant Bryce Williams, he hooks you up.
Okay.
He's like, I expect it back though. Don't go losing it.
Come on. Obviously, this is a present, right? You're giving this to me.
No.
Okay, I'll sign for it and I'll make sure to bring it back. That's fine.
Anyone else? Sweet. Okay.
Yeah, I would like a Mark 1 mobile offensive exo warrior suit.
Yeah, about that. About that.
We just nuke the planet.
No, I'm good. I don't need anything at the moment.
Yeah, that probably actually shouldn't be showing up in your inventory, but that's okay. It's already been spoiled. Yeah, the mock suit is not exactly standard issue, as you might guess by that picture.
What sort of Fallout bullshit is this? What do you
mean I
talking
can't
about?
have that? We are Marines.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're
Double
not
miniguns. Two separate styles of miniguns.
Where is my Terminator armor?
I think one's a minigun and one's a flamethrower. I think.
Maybe.
I don't know. I it's been a long time since I read the stats on that thing. But
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Oh,
I do see gas canisters
true.
or fuel
Right.
canisters, rather.
Don't forget, guys, to put the IRC Mark 35 pressure suits away and bring your personal ballistic armor.
That's true. You do not need. This planet has a breathable atmosphere. You do not need suits. And it has standard gravity as well.
We need to get rid of the pressure suit.
Scaarr,
Yeah.
did I
Do we-
take the cutting torch from you? Is this your cutting torch that I have in my inventory?
Do we add
Yeah.
it to our locker, or do we just delete it
If you
from?
need the weight, you can give it back.
You can just put it in your locker. That's fine. I mean, there'll be missions where you'll need a suit, so we'll assume you guys have a suit each.
I mean, I'm good on weight right now if you want me to carry it, but
And
Maybe
Can
I
I
should get
re-
a second one, actually, because I'm good on weight now that I'm on those compression suits or whatever.
yeah.
I've seen more people take down Xenos with those than almost any weapon in this game. Just saying.
Oh. Big Russian diver knows all about that.
Yeah. Only one to kill the actual monster.
Yes, one-shotted the monster. God, that felt good.
That was crazy, yeah.
I didn't care that I died after that. It was so worth it. Made up for my failures, Captain Miller.
Can I request a Kevlar riot vest? Because we don't have the suits. And as an assault marine, it would complement my riot shield.
Your armor's better than the riot vest.
Do we have armor? Oh, the personal armor.
Yeah, your armor is armor
Oh,
6. The vest is only armor 4, I think.
Okay. I wasn't sure, like, is the personal armor discreet?
No, definitely not.
So, like,
you won't be wearing that. You can take it with, but it's going to be. Keep in mind, most of your stuff is going to be in these storage containers. So,
would a riot vest fit under any civilian clothes that were?
Yeah, I think you could probably get away with that.
If we're trying to blend in.
Right, because we're not going to be wearing our armor when we're talking to people.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can take riot vests. That's fine.
Okay, nice, Eric.
This guy thinking outside the box.
Right? Amazing.
And you guys will be provided with like civilian-looking clothes, so you'll look like regular members of a crew. You know, the Ripley jumpsuit. You know, that sort of thing. You know, Brett's flight jacket, that kind of stuff. Or Ripley's sweet Reebok sneakers from
Hell
Aliens.
yeah.
Okay. Are you guys ready?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
As it'll ever be.
So, you guys start loading up. Weaver and Herschel are getting the dropship ready. Looks like Herschel is loading up the last few crates. That your guys' gear is all stored in. They'll store your gear each in their own containers as much as they can, but it might take several containers. Like your armor probably takes up most of a container, and maybe like a gun or two in another one. Is anybody carrying any of their sidearms on them, or is that also going in storage?
I'll have my pistol on me.
Yeah, it should be easy to conceal my gun, my pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep my pistol and my knife.
All right. Well, you guys eventually load up into the dropship, and Weaver fires up the engines. She fires up her speakers. This time, rather than, heavy rock, she does still have some classic rock. She cranks on some Dream On from Aerosmith, which it's a nice slow descent, almost picturesque as you guys make your way towards Symbaris, which has kind of a bluish hue to it as you guys get closer and closer. And once you eventually do break through the atmosphere, you can see that there's a lot of open terrain where you can see what look like forests. And these forests have this kind of bluish green color to them, clearly alien in some fashion. And you guys make your way towards, disregard the name on this map, what is called Azura Colony. Otherwise, everything here is as you see marked off. You guys are going towards these the spaceport here, towards the top of the map. The letter E, there's 3 huge landing pads, and then 4 is the comms control tower. Over on the left here, you see a lot of the living areas where all the hab blocks are, and then there's a couple mining pits and mining areas. It is a mining colony of some sort, to your knowledge. And then you can see a lot of roads and some smaller buildings that have kind of branched off as you go further south from the colony. Otherwise, you can see a couple mountain ranges in the distance on the planet. But other than that, you guys make your way down towards PlanetSide. So you see this air traffic control tower, typical, nothing really that stands out of the ordinary here. And it looks over these 3 landing pads. And the landing pads are each separate, and they're huge, take up a ton of space. This whole section here is a huge flat area of the spaceport, of the colony. And each of the landing pads is probably about the size of a football field, if not bigger. So this whole section takes up a huge amount of real estate. When you guys make your descent here, you can see that there are, let's see my notes. One of the landing pads is empty. That's the one that you are currently heading to. The second one you can see holds a full-scale starship, which I believe I have a picture of. Let's see. Oh, wait, nope. Is it actors? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Oh, is it the same artwork? That's weird. Here we go. Okay. So you see a large starship. Looks commercial. Nowhere near as big as the Nostromo. But it looks like these landing pads could hold a Bison-class starship. But still, a fairly large ship. You guys would recognize it. It's a Star Clipper is the type of starship that it is. Some sort of commercial vessel, you're assuming. And then you can see the third landing pad has a Cheyenne dropship that is a version called a Sky Crane, which is used to like airlift vehicles and heavy equipment. You see it fairly often on the colonies. And then there are 2 of the Weyland-Yutani, what are they called? Cargo lifters, which you would recognize from Alien Covenant. These big, huge flatbeds. There's a cab on the front that can be pressurized, so these can actually go off planet, up into atmosphere and up into orbit. If you got to take huge amounts of cargo, looks like that's exactly what they're here for. But they're currently all parked at the other one as well. You guys can hear Weaver calling in. She's using some other name and credentials, and obviously you guys aren't on your regular dropship, so it's got a fake name and all that. And you wait for clearance, and then looks like you guys get access. Clearance is granted. You guys land, and she looks over her shoulder to you guys, and she says, "All right, put your game faces on." And with that, you guys are going to see the back ramp opens up, and you guys get hit with the atmosphere of the planet. It's a little chilly, but nothing, your jackets don't, can't help you out with. You can see there's quite a few people moving about, taking care of cargo and things like that. But what you do see is that there is... You do see patrolling. There is a 5-man squad of UPP troops. You would recognize them as regular UPP Army. So just the standard, basically equivalent of, Army versus Marines. This is Army. So you see a squad of 5 UPPA, which is Union of Progressive People's Army. And you see that there is an officer of some sort with them. And they are dressed more like you would imagine, like what's a good way? Like if it was like an FBI or CIA agent, like with a squad of soldiers. That's kind of the equivalent you see here. Like this person clearly is not a soldier, but they might be some sort of military or maybe special forces or reconnaissance or something like that, or something of that nature. And it's very clear that they're coming towards your guys' ship.
Kyle's gonna kiss his lucky rabbit's foot that's on a necklace around his neck right now.
Okay.
And light up a cigarette.
All right. What does everyone else do?
Shit, I just kind of like start to mingle and talk shit with the other members of the crew, make it look like we're just normal ass fucking colonist tourists or truckers or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, just kind of sit down, hang out until given more orders.
All right. Well, they eventually come to your ship, and the one of the soldiers comes up. He looks a little bored, you might think, and he says, like in a kind of a thick accent, but you guys are able to understand him. He asks for like, who's in charge, or who's the captain, or something of that nature.
That'll be me, sir.
And he just asks to like see your papers, basically.
Gonna scruffle through a little folder of our paperwork and hand it to him.
Okay. Yeah, he takes a look over it, and you can see one of the other soldiers is kind of looking around, kind of steps in and starts looking through like the car. He's not like going through it, he's kind of like taking a look around, and you see another soldier's kind of walking around the outside of the ship. And then the other two are kind of standing there with the officer, kind of just keeping their eyes on everything on the spaceport. And he looks through it. A couple minutes go by, and he asks you what you're hauling. You tell him. He takes a kind of a cursory glance at the paperwork. He says, all right. And, he like points to where the, I guess he probably doesn't point, but he just kind of waves you off like, okay, you're good to go.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Any good bars around the area? I can grab a drink before we take off later on.
He just kind of shrugs, like maybe he doesn't understand what you're asking, or he doesn't really have an answer to that.
Okay then. Thank you.
And yeah, you guys looks like you're free to start unloading your gear and your stuff. If you guys didn't already know, Weaver would tell you that there is a warehouse district that you guys are going to be, or a cargo area. That's this over here. So you guys will load everything up on, they basically like bring like a big like truck, and you guys load it up with some of this stuff, and then you ride with them, you unload it, and then you're kind of free to go do what you need to do. So eventually, they bring one of these vehicles around, big ass like flatbed type truck, and colonist who looks tired and overworked, and he pulls up and he brings it around and he says, all right, start loading it up. And he's sitting there in the cab, he's kind of waving his hat back and forth, a little bored, as he's waiting for you guys to get all the cargo loaded up.
Yeah, start fucking loading and trying to complain like a trucker or some regular dockhand. This is bullshit. Why the fuck I got him going all this heavy shit? I'm not paid enough for this. When are we going to unionize? Standard complaints.
Am I right, comrade?
Mr. Red, yeah, we're unionizing.
Also, I forgot to point out,
shit.
that Herschel insisted on being part of this operation in so much that he's actually going to be acting as part of the crew with you guys.
Oh,
That's Mr. Clean. Let's go.
all right.
If anybody wanted to inquire about that before you guys left, you would have a chance to do so.
Yeah, I'm like, hey Herschel, what's going on? You want to support like a synth brother, or what's going on?
In a matter of speaking, Private, yes. I am curious to meet this other synthetic. I've heard many stories about how the UPP treats androids, and I'm curious to see what I can learn from this android. And I do hate to hear about, as you put it, one of my brothers in such a situation. So I feel like perhaps I may be of assistance and be helpful in such a situation dealing with another android.
All right, righteous man. Just keep your head down if anything goes wrong, okay?
Of course.
Yeah, I never heard a UPP treating them too good, so
I don't think
hope you're ready
UPP
for
treats
that.
anyone good, but probably not especially synths.
And luckily, Herschel makes the cargo loading process far easier because he is strong as an ox.
I crumble obviously less.
Yeah. So he's able to carry like 2 of these things no problem. Which anybody like noticing this would know he's obviously an android. But that's normal. So it's not like it's weird, but it's obvious that like you guys are like 2 of you have to lift one of these boxes, and he lifts like 1 in each hand.
Does he look obviously like a synth?
Yeah, I think we determined he is a specific model of synth, but not one that we've ever seen in the movies.
He's not like a working Joe with like a face.
No. He's like a full like android.
Yeah.
Like there's a line, but there's others that would be basically replicas of him. You know.
Okay.
But yeah, he's not a faceless, soulless working Joe.
Monster.
Yeah, he's the Mr. Clean looking guy, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So there is a line of androids now. It's canon that look like Mr. Clean in the NH universe. So we'll have to find out what Mr. Clean's first name is. Well, that's what we'll call the line of androids. You know, we've got the Bishop line, we've got the Call line, we've got the Ash line, and now we've got whatever this guy
Mr.
is.
Clean.
Yeah.
He went public domain and someone just made an android out of him.
And a horror movie.
Wayland Utani probably fucking bought the rights to Mr. Clean, you know? So.
Easy.
All right. Well, while you guys are loading that up, I think we'll take our break here because we're at our halfway point. I need some Dr. Pepper badly.
Nice.
So let us split here for a few moments, folks, and we will be right back with more alien goodness starring Mr. Clean.
All right, BRB boys.
Goddamn that fucking coconut Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I had the coconut Dr. Pepper a few weeks ago with you. Super delicious.
I let Ernie try it because Ernie gave me a ride back from the airport on Saturday.
Nice.
So I bought, I told you we went to Neo's and he tried it. He was like, "Oh yeah, this is really good."
It's like better than regular Dr. Pepper. That 24th flavor really seals the deal.
God, I love coconut so much.
Oh.
Okay. So we find ourselves back on Azura Colony. You guys have loaded up this truck. There's room in the cab for 2 of you. If you guys want to get in the cab, everybody else would have to sit out on the actual flatbed. So Herschel sits out on the flatbed. He doesn't seem to have a problem with that. Weaver stays with the dropship.
Flatbed.
Okay.
I think it's only fair a captain gets to sit up front.
I won't sit up front then.
Okay. All right. Well, you get in the cab there, Bunnilla, and you're greeted with a older looking guy. He's a bit of a pot belly. He's got a thick mustache that's starting to gray a little bit. He's got a Seegson baseball cap. Seegson's one of the other big corporations out here. Now you're noticing Seegson logos around a lot. You're guessing it's primarily a Seegson colony. He's got like a work jacket on and work pants and work boots, and he greets you when he comes in. He says, "Howdy." He says, "Name's Earl. Come on in."
Oh, thank you, Earl. Name's Ryan.
And he extends a big, gnarled, weathered hand. And
reach him out, give him a nice firm handshake.
Starts to drive in the direction of this cargo area. Basically, you guys are going to take this long street here all the way south, and then eventually, when you get to this crossroad, you'll start going through the side streets. He says, "What you guys hauling?"
Earl.
What are we hauling?
This is why you're sitting up front.
Oh God.
You guys have some medical supplies,
Okay.
and you also have some like raw materials that a colony would use for like construction purposes. And what else was there?
And all our guns.
A bunch of illicit black market,
Explosives.
stuff. Yeah, and then like parts for like repairs that you'd use for like some of the construction vehicles and things like that. So
Yeah, we're hauling
Rockets.
some medical supplies and some raw goods for y'all.
Oh, okay. Good. Yep, definitely could use that. Always helpful. He says, and then he starts making some small talk, like where are you from, that sort of thing. Looks like it's gonna probably be like at least a 20-minute, maybe 30-minute drive. This truck is not exactly fast, and he doesn't seem in any particular rush. So he's like pointing out some landmarks you guys are driving by, and you're like, "Oh, look, another hab block." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's like hab block D right there. Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, let me tell you about Jimmy." Starts going like on a tangent, This guy is just total, has like no care in the world. If there's anything particular you want to ask him or bring up during the ride, otherwise we'll just assume it's small talk and him mostly giving you a tour of somehow trying to make a tour out of some shit that's really boring, but he somehow does a actually relatively good job of making it somewhat interesting.
So I'll just keep it small talk.
Yeah, he seems to have like a story for everything. It's clear this guy has probably grown up on this colony and has been here for years. So, it's a lot of, oh yeah, and we got these little varmint critters called, when he gives you some weird name they've come up with for some local wildlife, and oh yeah, those them trees over there. That's why they call it Azura, because it's an azure color, so I'm told. Because the blue trees and the green trees, they all mix together, and then you get azure trees, or that's what them big think folks tell me from that science center over there. What you do find out, at least from his rambling, is Azura is primarily a Seegson colony. They're the ones that started it. There's a few other corporations like Hyperdyne, but strangely, Weyland-Yutani seems absent from this colony. They don't seem to have anything to do with it, which is not unheard of, but, their stamp is over everything, so sometimes it's weird not to see it. But Seegson's a big one. Surprisingly, though, you don't see any working Joe androids until you guys actually get to the cargo area. Working Joes are Seegson brand, and I'm sure we have artwork of the Seegsons somewhere, because everybody needs to see a Seegson droid. But where? Here we go. NPCs? No. I'll have to look for one. Anyway, for those of you that are not familiar with a working Joe. They are the most soulless-looking androids you'll ever see. They were introduced in Alien Isolation, one of the greatest video games ever made, and they are androids that, without a shadow of a doubt, look like a robot. They will all usually be wearing the same uniform, which in this case, they look like the colonists. They're like the work overalls. But they have this blue rubbery looking skin, and like basically just no hair, no facial hair. Their eyes are just lights, and they have just a very basic looking face. They're all carbon copies of one another.
All they want to do is help,
But
They just
and
want-
they are very simplistic compared to regular or other synthetics that you see, which oftentimes would be mistaken for a human, especially like custom models. These are very much a machine, and they are always used for some sort of like manual labor, sometimes guard duty. But they're very simple, very lower programming. Often they're only meant to do a couple things, or they can only kind of focus on one task at a time. And you do see some of these androids when you guys eventually get to the warehouse area, this like cargo district. And basically what you guys see is, and what you learn, it's a mining operation. There are 4 excavation sites where they mine various minerals from the ground. But it's nothing, it doesn't seem to be quite as advanced as what they had on the last colony. This is like some old school mining where guys go down with like their picks and their big mine carts, fill it up, and have to drag it back up. There's no lifts or anything like that. But you do learn that they are a very busy mine, very large colony, about 500 people or so on this colony, and they actually do export quite a bit of minerals and ores and things like that off-world. And so you see there's just this district that is just several blocks of nothing but warehouses, which are used for storage facilities. Most of them are filled with big shipping containers, not unlike what you'd see at like a train yard or a modern day cargo ship dock with those huge long metal containers that you see them stack and stack and stack. So when you guys do go inside one of these eventually, and he like is telling you where to put the stuff, that is what you see. You guys don't have containers quite that big. I mean, they're smaller. You guys can carry them. But they do look very industrial, very uniform and monotone. And he stays in the truck, and he's like, all right, we'll put everything over here in this one. And yeah, the Joes will let us in. And you can I'll show you where you can put everything, and then I can take you back once you're all done.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
He's like,
These
so
models
he's,
give me the fucking creeps.
yeah, so he shows you where they are or where to go, and then you guys start unloading everything and get everything like packed up and ready to go and just stacking it up. But you guys do have excuse me, you do have some time because he stays in the cab, and it looks like the androids are patrolling like the outside areas. You don't really see any of the androids in here, other than there's like one standing at the door, like more it looks like to ready to just close the door when you guys are done. It's not like really like watching you, it's just kind of standing there. And you guys would know you could typically give a working Joe like orders, and it'll go do its thing.
Hey,
Okay.
fuck off.
It fucks
No.
off.
Not a direct order, but I will pay less attention. Damn, they're pretty sassy for working.
It doesn't seem to respond to fuck off.
Can you check like the other side of the building? I feel like I saw like a coyote there or something. I phrased that as a question. It is an order.
Its eyes like blink, and in a very robotic voice, it says it's going to go investigate. It says, please reach out to this unit should you require any further assistance.
Wonderful.
And let me load up this artwork while you guys decide whatever the fuck you're going to do now.
Time
If you need to grab any gear from your stuff, well, I don't know if we should suit all the way up.
all the way up. It's time to gulag.
We're going to send these guys to the gulag.
Lock and load, boys.
Wait, we're like UA. We don't send people to gulags, right? That's
It's that scene from Hot Fuzz. It's like Casado said covert op, and you're just loading the gun. Shame.
oh, I need to watch Hot Fuzz again. That's a great movie.
That is a great movie.
One of my favorite memes when he's loading that shotgun. Shame.
Do we have like backpacks or anything we can like hide some of our stuff in?
Yeah, you would.
Okay. Would like the bulky motion tracker be like something a trucker would normally have, or that would be suspect?
No, that's typical. Someone might have that on the crew, so yeah, that's not a big
Alright.
deal.
Cool. I'll throw that in, and one of my stun grenades.
Yeah, that's no problem to hide.
G2 electroshock grenade.
Oh yes, here we go. Now where did the character sheet go that I just made? Oh no. What the fuck?
Technical difficulties.
Did he? Oh, there. Okay, hold on. I went in the wrong folder. That's why. Okay. So this is what a working Joe looks like.
Oh God.
Big picture, piercing my soul.
Hey.
It kind of looks like a crash dummy, sort of.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And yeah, this one it has like basically like a green like jacket on. Like a.
That would be murder on sight.
Oh yeah.
Me and my homies would hold it down and just murder it with hammers.
Just now
Have
you
you-
know why.
Have you played
Owen does
Alien
not like-
Isolation?
I think I downloaded it. I don't think I've played it yet.
Oh, you're
Go
doing yourself an injustice.
Play it.
Oh shit.
When you encounter these things, there's an achievement to kill one.
Really?
With
Okay.
They
with the maintenance
successfully
jack.
make Xenos since the 70s. They make Xenos scary again in that game.
Oh, it's such a good
Oh,
game. But the
nice.
Working Joes are one of the coolest additions, and it came from, at least as far as I know, it came from this game, and they are so fucking creepy and cool at the same time. So, yeah.
Way to go, developers.
And you're playing Ripley's daughter.
Oh, did Ripley have a daughter?
She
Yeah.
did.
Remember, she died.
Well,
And,
that
Aliens of old age.
Well, she did. She died in the third one, like jumping into the lava, right? Or the molten whatever.
no. So there's an extended scene
Oh,
in the director's cut of Aliens when Ripley gets taken out of cryo at the beginning of the movie. Burke shows her a picture of her daughter, who at this point has died of old age because Ripley's been gone. She gets lost for like 50 years.
65 years or
something like
something,
that, yeah. And if I recall, the story is that it was an image of Sigourney Weaver's mother that they used.
oh wow.
That's weird. I didn't know that.
But yeah, it's only in the extended scene, but they explain she had a daughter named Amanda. So that was always canon, as far as I
Okay.
understand.
And
I guess
you
the-
get to play her in Alien Isolation. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool because
the
it's like a
Aliens
young
movie on
Ripley.
Hulu didn't include that, so it must not be the extended version. But that's cool
I
as
thought
fuck.
I thought that was like what normally circulates now. Is that version?
I definitely
That's
didn't
what
know,
I
yeah.
understood too. But yeah, I didn't know about that until years later. But apparently, I think even as far back as Alien, because originally Dallas and Ripley were supposed to have a romantic relationship. They've recorded parts of like a sex scene they were going to have between them that was never put into the movie. But they had a relationship, and there's also, as far as I understand, there's documentation in some of the scripts and stuff that, like that maybe he was almost a father figure to Ripley's daughter. So Ripley's daughter's actual father, I don't know if they really ever talk about him or anything like that. But yeah, she has a daughter. You get to play her in Isolation, which is really cool.
Yeah. Okay.
And
so-
there's a DLC where you get to play as all the original Nostromo crew.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And I believe they got like all the actors to come back to do their voices, at least the ones that were still alive.
Holy
So,
shit! Yeah, damn.
Great fucking game. Great
Yeah,
fucking.
I
and it
haven't
still
played the
holds up. It
DLC,
looks
but
great.
yeah. Anyway, we go on and on about Isolation all night, but let's not.
Yeah, so I grabbed my gear and put it in the backpack.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, if you guys want to take stuff, you can, but again, it depends what you want to take and how practical it's going to be. So
I think it's very
All I
important
need
that
is a gun and a knife.
Only
it's
in
very
your
important. I
teeth.
bring my bi-mix glasses and smack them on.
Didn't someone get like a sick ass watch too?
Oh yeah, that's already on the wrist.
Oh, okay. The sergeant is a capitalist, taking
What?
all for himself.
what's the other time zone on your watch, since you can have 2 time zones on there?
I'll change it to my home planet, Quasar.
Oh, that's right. The fucking hippie crystal planet. I bet it's got like a weird, like 17-hour day or something stupid.
No,
These,
it
36
never
hour
goes dark. We
psychedelic
got 3
days.
suns.
3
Yeah.
sons die.
But they have
I would-
orgies on every Sabbath.
Oh well, okay. I can get behind this, or at least someone.
Gonna go home with Sergeant for holiday.
Might have to. It's team bonding.
I'd like to request some shore leave to the planet Quasar, please.
It's
The,
like the Ryza
orgy
of the
planet?
Alien universe.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's probably important, if you guys are going to take gear, you should probably note what you're taking with and what is staying here in these containers. So,
Okay. And it's basically just whatever we can kind of fit in a backpack outside of like a sidearm.
I mean, I will point out the backpacks you have are your military backpacks, so it might look strange if all 4 of you are walking around with camo backpacks. Just going to point that out. One of you, probably not a big deal. But if all of you have matching backpacks, it's I mean, that alone would look weird, right? You guys all have the same backpack.
Right. Yeah.
But then they're also, like, clearly camouflage. You know, like...
Do the medkits just like fit on a belt or something if we were to grab a medkit?
I mean, it's like just a first aid kit, basically. Just think like that. So,
Does it have like loops to like belt loops or something, or do you have to put it in a backpack?
you could put it on a belt. That's fine. Yeah. Assume it's either in like a white or like a red box, you know, with a little medical logo on it.
Yeah, so I'll just so in addition to my service pistol and knife, I'll take a medkit.
I'll just have my pistol, bi-mix glasses, and I'll leave my backpack behind.
And my binoculars.
Yeah, electrical tools and sidearm rather, and knife, medkit.
Okay.
That's about it.
Yeah, I'm leaving my knife in the locker. I've got my revolver, the grenade, and then the backpack that has a suppressor, a cutting torch, and the motion tracker.
Okay. As you guys are doing this, Herschel says, "Is there anything you'd like me to conceal or bring with?"
Can I give him my stun baton?
Oh, sure. Yeah, you can like
Well,
fit
we-
that in.
How would you conceal it, Herschel? Where are you hiding it?
Well, it depends what you'd like me to hide.
He shoves it down his throat like a sword swallower.
I'm gonna hand him my suppressor. Can you hide this somewhere?
What's it for? Like, how big's the suppressor?
It just says muzzle suppressor, so it can be used for
Okay.
multiple weapons.
Yeah, let's like put it in a pocket.
Okay, sweet.
I mean, I guess he could technically swallow it because, as we saw in Covenant, he fucking puked up the alien embryos he had hidden.
I did watch Covenant. Oh,
what'd you think?
So good. Oh, I really liked it. I actually liked it more than Prometheus.
Oh, really? So yeah, you're definitely in the minority there. I like Prometheus more, but I enjoyed Covenant as well. So
I felt like Prometheus was like too like happy ending, and Covenant had a much better
happy ending. One person survived, and a head of an android made it to the end.
Yeah, but they stopped the fucking ship of murder stuff going to Earth.
And Idris Elba had to fucking sacrifice himself. There's no happiness here when he dies.
He was a king.
Okay? He was.
You have to laud your king when he sacrifices himself to blow up that shit.
His two co-pilots
did
too.
School here. I'm kind of in Sean's school. Yeah, because awesome. Covenant kind of made it brought slasher elements back to the movie.
It did.
Yeah, a lot more horror, and then the ending twist. Ooh, so good.
God, I wish and hope that one day we get some sort of resolution. Even if it's just Ridley Scott being like, here's what was going to happen.
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Ridley, can you do that? Like, you're getting up there in age,
Romulus is successful. Hopefully, go fucking watch Romulus and we'll get more Alien.
Say what you will about Ridley Scott, but like, I want to know what his vision was, right? Mm-hmm. Whether or not you loved it or hated. What did the man who made Alien, right? What was his plan? Because I want to know how David's story ends.
Yeah, at this point, we need to know.
There will be riots in the street.
There should be.
We can start riots, guys. You just gotta
find your local group of angry nerds about everything.
Fucking Fox. Anyway,
and they guillotined so many people in that revolution.
Anything else you guys take, or just the suppressor?
My stuff's pretty chill.
I'll give him a stun baton.
Yeah, he can hide that somehow.
Back flap just kind of opened up a little bit.
I hand him my armor. Can you conceal this?
I mean, does he need to hide it?
Okay.
All right. Straighten my ball cap that I'm probably wearing and light a cigarette again. Let's do this.
Cruz has like a bandana on.
All right. We guys all get back on the truck, and Earl's like, all right, you want me to take you back to the ship?
Someplace.
I'm kind of parched. You know any places to wet my whistle around here?
Oh sure. He's like opens up the window to talk to you guys in the back. He's like, oh sure, yeah, we got 3 bars here. One of them ain't very good, and one of them's not bad, and and then there's the Gatekeeper's bar. So those are your picks.
Hey man, why don't you take us to whichever's your favorite?
All right. So he drives you back towards this northeastern section of the map. Anything that's labeled A is where the living quarters are. So it's just hab block after hab block. A lot of this is like prefabricated, identical looking. I don't know what the word is. I was going to say biodome. That's not the word. Habitat.
Domicile.
Domicile. Thank you. Domicile / habitat. And you can tell these are something that are they're cranked out. They're cheap to make. They're efficient. They're mostly duplicates of one another. But, when you have them, when you're inside, you can kind of make them your own. And eventually, as a colony grows, they'll probably become more permanent structures. But you see, there's a lot of these original ones that are still here that have been kind of added on to over the years. and they've clearly made this is where the colony started, and it's kind of branched off from there. And you can see, there's a couple other things like a general store, things like that. But eventually, yeah, you do see that he brings you up to a bar, and he says, "All right, here we go. I think you guys will like this place. If anybody wants to come up for a name for Earl's favorite bar, feel free to help tell the story here."
The Rusty Sprocket. I don't know.
Rusty Sprocket.
Sleazy donkey.
I like Rusty Sprocket.
That's a pretty good one, yeah.
Rusty Sprocket.
Anybody else watch the Jetsons a lot when you were a kid?
Yeah.
No.
Cartoon
did not like the
Network,
Jetsons.
yeah.
Did not like the Jetsons. No.
I mean, it was just
More of a
on.
Flintstone guy,
Yeah, I feel like you didn't have a choice. It was either Flintstones or Jetsons a lot.
Yeah. And then
That
the
was like-
old Scooby-Doo. Ooh.
That was before like Cartoon Network. You don't go to Cartoon Network to watch Jetsons.
No, that
Yeah,
was a
Cartoon.
Boomerang, right?
Yeah, Boomerang. And then Hannibal, something was the, like,
Hanna
The
Barbera.
Hanna-Barbera.
that was like, Hannibal.
Hannibal Lecter's.
Hey, close enough, guys. Shut the fuck up.
No, I knew exactly what you meant. Hanna Barbera.
Yeah. All right.
It was like Yogi Bear and was it
Yogi.
Huckleberry Hound and Woody
Yep.
Woodpecker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that stuff was all over Cartoon Network for a very long time before they got their own shows and stuff.
Before they got their shit together and put real shows like
Well,
Space
I mean,
Ghost, Coast
they
to
had
Coast, and
a
Aqua Hunger
whole
Force.
bunch of budget money to make all those
Yeah.
shows.
I remember watching shit ton of Speed Racer too during the early days of Toonami.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
fucking love Speed Racer.
Toonami,
And
what a
the
fucking...
live action movie, so fucking good.
I never
so
I've
saw
never
it.
seen that.
Yeah.
Go
never seen that.
watch it. It's fucking psychedelic, and it's got
Were there
Uh,
assassins in there at one point? I heard someone say
Oh,
there were
they-
like...
yeah, they fight ninjas, dude. What's his name? John Goodman.
John
Mhm.
Goodman?
John
He
Goodman,
plays Pops Racer. It is
Lord.
one of the best castings of an animated to live action character, and it is, if you've watched the show Scaarr, it's like watching a live action version of the show for 2 hours.
No shit.
It's
Who's
awesome.
Racer X though?
I don't recall. John Goodman's the only actor I recall that I
He
recognize.
was the only important one, let's be honest.
Racer X. What?
Dude,
Yeah.
there's a scene
Oh,
where they do fight ninjas that come to assassinate the family, and fucking Pops Racer fucking picks up a fucking ninja and fucking spins him around, and it does a slow motion thing where you see he's got his old championship wrestling ring from like school, and after he gets done he's just like, man, they don't make ninjas like they used to. Or some shit
This sounds like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Racer X, by the way, is
So-
Matthew Fox from Smokin' Aces. So I'm definitely going to watch this now.
And
someone
the
was on
racing
so much
scenes-
crack.
the racing scenes are so much better than the show. It is fucking cool. And if you didn't see Speed Racer, or if you thought it was bad, you're wrong. And you need to rethink your life. Anyway, so
Watch Spade Racer.
yeah,
I feel like a lot of
Speed
tangents.
Racer.
Passionate.
Sorry, I can't help it.
It's okay. It's okay. Oh,
I think my sickness is 100% gone at this point now. I'm feeling like myself again. So thank you, Coconut Dr. Pepper.
yeah, that's the reason.
Oh
It
yeah,
is.
it wasn't your buds cheering you out there. Coconut
Yeah,
Dr. Pepper.
fuck us, I guess.
Dragons Greed Gaming cures cancer. That guy said it. All right, so must be true.
He said it, not us.
You cannot hold us liable. Hold that specific guy liable.
Yep. So you get to the Rusty Sprocket, and Earl brings you in. Some people instantly recognize him. It's your typical bar. Doesn't seem to be anything special here. This definitely looks like a bar where like truckers and blue collar and workers hang out. And he introduces you to some of the regulars there, and I guess you guys probably get a round of drinks, and Yeah, you can sit down. He'll tell the bartender to bring you guys around to something, and he recommends. Oh yeah, get their you get their tater tots here, man. Mm. Oh yeah, they do it right here. So
Yeah, good
Kinda
around the
whisper
tater
to,
tots.
Kind of whisper to Sergeant Schmidt. Sarge, we need to lose this asshole.
Well, you don't want to have another fun ride with him explaining all the different shit going on in town.
Hey, that's why I rode in the bed. Okay, I had a feeling it was coming.
I'll make sure you ride shotgun next time.
Herschel leans in over to you, O'Connell, and he says, O'Connell, this might actually be a good chance for us to gain some intel. He seems to be quite the ingrained local. Maybe this is an opportunity we can use.
You got a point, Herschel.
Only stop one at the bar crawl, guys.
I'm not gonna do it. I killed an unarmed civilian not too long ago, and my empathy is pretty low. So one of you guys should probably maybe.
What are you gonna do? Roofie him?
I can't control myself. I don't know what I might do.
My drug hand, it just keep putting things in drinks. Right.
Here I go roofing again.
Oh my god.
O'Connell.
We can't trust this Irishman. What's going on here?
Gonna get left in the ship next time.
Right? All right.
So
Getting
I'm
back on track.
I'm gonna buy him a drink. If I have the means to do so.
Sure.
Yeah, let me get it around for you. So tell me, what's it like living with all the UPB soldiers around here?
He kind of looks around to make sure there's none in here. There's not. He's like being dramatic about it, but he's like, yeah, I'll tell you, none of us know where the hell these UPP came from. It's like all of a sudden one day they just show up out of nowhere, guns pointed every which way. And we don't have a military here, right? We got a single marshal station with 2 marshals. So, there's not a whole lot that they're gonna do. And they come in and they went right to the top, so to speak. And from what I understand is they basically kind of put the colony on lockdown. And it's only been a couple days, and not a whole lot's changed though, to be honest. They've been patrolling back and forth. They're looking. I hear they're looking for an android of theirs. But other than the working Joes, we don't really have any synths down here. So they're looking around. Not much really to say more than that. So they've kind of let us go about our business as usual, one might say. But they've been here now. Day I don't know, day 5, day 6, about a week they've been here.
Well, let me ask you something. Hypothetically, if that you said they're looking for some kind of synth or something. Where would you hide if you were hiding from the UPP in the colony here?
Oh, well, personally, I'd probably hide in the mines because I've been down there, lots of tunnels and stuff.
I'm going to stop you right there. I don't want to talk about any mines right now, okay? God.
Oh, well, that's too bad because I got lots of mining stories. We got 4 mines here. Well,
I got some mine stories for you too, believe you me.
Wow, one day I would like to hear them, good sir. But that's where I would go because I've been down there, lots of tunnels and such. But I've been here for a long time, so I know lots of little nooks and crannies. But they haven't gone busting down doors. But I think they put a lot of people on edge. They got guns. We don't really have guns, and I mean, there's a lot more of us than them, but it's not like they've, started shooting people or anything. So somebody comes into your house with a gun and you don't have your own, you kind of got to do what they say, right? So, I mean, like I said, they've more or less let it go about our business, but they've been checking all the ships, making sure, I'm assuming making sure the droid hasn't left, which I'm assuming it hasn't because they're still here.
Jokes aside, real talk. I consider myself a bit of a mining enthusiast myself. Insert Willem Dafoe meme here. Could you show me around there? Or me and my buds here. We got some leisure time before we take off. I would love to see what are y'all doing in the mines here.
Well, I don't know if I can actually take you into the mines, but I could bring you around and show you around. We got one that, that one's all petered out. That was the first one here, and it turns out that they found a lot more deposits over the years, so the operation has expanded, and he's like, Azura actually puts out quite a bit of productivity, if you will, and
you said the mine's petered out, it's abandoned?
The first one did, because it was the first one, and that was like 35 years ago. But over time now, we got 3 others. We got 2 active right now, and we got a third one that they've been digging some tunnels and stuff around, and that one's off limits because it hasn't been mapped out yet. But I'm sure they're gonna find more goodies down there, because it seems this rock is all full of the minerals and such. So, yeah, I guess Seegson picked the right place to set up shop, because, we got lots of what's that word? Exports.
Yes, exports.
Yeah, that's a tough one. No, yeah, that's a tough one.
2 syllables, real rough.
Yeah. So, man, I would be really interested in the new. You said it's off limits, but is the old one near here too? Because there's probably nobody there, right? Like, we could go take a look around, and we wouldn't get in anybody's way.
Oh yeah, that's excavation site Alpha. That's gonna be F right here on your map. That's not too far. You can see that's right by where the colony was. That was the first one, so we set up shop, nearby. But all mines eventually run out. There's only so many rocks you dig out of the other rocks. You dig out the shiny rocks, so to speak, from the non-shiny ones, and eventually you're left. There's no shiny ones left, so you got to go dig somewhere else.
Man, I could listen to you talk about it all day. It sounds very intricate and complicated about the shiny rocks. So tell us along the way, right? He kind of gestures at Sergeant.
Yeah, and he'll even sit up front to hear all about it.
Shh.
Played right into his hand.
I heard him call shotgun.
Yeah, it sounded like it. Earl, what do you guys actually mine on this planet?
Oh, it's all sorts of iron ores and such. Things that are used in. Sorry, I'm getting my accents mixed up here. It's all sorts of minerals that are used in various things, like productions of steels and metals and different types of plastics and things like that. But the general term is iron ore deposits, and there's lots of different types. But that list is real long. So
sure. You said there were some marshals on this planet?
Well, yeah, I mean, every colony's got a marshal, but like I said, our colony only has 2. I mean,
what are their names, in case we need to talk to them about some other people giving us guff?
Oh, and there's Marshal Franklin. He's the I guess the head marshal, the sheriff, if you will, and then his deputy is Deputy Jones.
Okay, great. Good to know.
Good fellas, good shots with their guns. Not that they have to use them much, but real nice fellas. Yeah.
Great.
And how are they liking the UPP here, huh?
I don't think anybody really likes them here, but
I don't think they even
Yeah.
like themselves.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, you PP, I PP, we all PP.
Yes, we all PP.
Sure.
Everybody
That,
pees.
That must be a local joke from, what was that place you called it? Quasar? Yeah. Quasar. Never heard of that
Croissant?
one.
It's the orgy planet, from what he says.
Yeah, sounds French to me.
You can
As
call
is
it
their
that.
nature, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, if you want to go see the mine, we can go see the mine. If you want to hop back in my truck.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take the cab. No, O'Connell's take the cab. I'll take the back.
It is so
Oh no,
funny. It's so funny
by
that
all
we're
means, you
dealing
can take
with
shotgun.
another hick character because one of our patrons was talking about he just got to the part in the Warhammer campaign where they meet the Hick family, and I told him, I was like, that is one of the most fun role-playing sessions I ever had, trying to do that redneck accent for like 2 full sessions, and it was fucking great, man. It was so much fun. Oh my god, so here we are again. So
Amazing.
but yeah, all right. Well, why don't we why don't we hop in and
I'll like, can I get these tater tots to go? Just like a little go bag?
Bertha, get us another one of the top bags to go. Make it a bucket, actually. That'll be good.
Love me a bucket. Yeah.
Love me some Bertha.
So
We,
So, yeah, they-
can we take our drinks, outside the bar here? Is that okay in the colony?
oh yeah, ain't nobody gonna mind. What else the hell we do down here, right? We mine rocks and we drink beer and we eat tots. It's not all that bad, I guess.
Honestly, that doesn't sound bad at all.
I'm not sure how the UA colonies do it, or the Three World Empire, or them folks. I imagine the Three World Empire is a lot different than here, and I can only imagine what a UPP colony is like from what I hear. But yeah, we do all right, I suppose.
You only live once. Enjoy yourself.
Exactly. So she gets you a bucket, right? It's literally like a wing bucket, like a KFC bucket. It's filled. There's probably like
Holy
100 tots in here, right? And he puts it in between the driver's seat and the passenger seat, and
They
he
just
actually
call it a heart attack.
he puts that shitty middle seatbelt around it, right? The one that's like just the one that's just like all limp and shit. And then he opens up the window so you guys can reach through the window.
I was gonna wrap on the window so
man.
I can reach through. Yeah,
Oh, fucking
amazing.
Oh yeah, life's like a bucket of tater tots.
Good.
It always comes around, don't you know?
Pull a Napoleon Dynamite, shove some in my cargo pants.
Oh yeah. Give me some tots, Napoleon. Give me some tots. No, they're my tots.
Oh, I hate Napoleon Dynamite.
What? Get
I
out.
hate-
Get your coat.
I hate that movie so much. It's so
It's so funny.
uncomfortable.
It's so funny, man. Oh,
The
my
only
God.
part I like is Uncle Rico. I could toss that ball over them there mountains. It's the only part I like. Everything else is so uncomfortable for me.
I bet if I tried, I could throw this ball over the mountains.
It's the only good part.
There was an animated show, by the way, for like 2 seasons.
They made an animated show.
Yeah, and I believe
Oh,
most, if not all, the actors came back to reprise their roles as the voice actors.
Oh my,
probably because they didn't get any other work from that movie.
definitely not the guy who played Napoleon Dynamite.
There should have been a sequel. Never forget what they took from us. We never got a sequel.
I'm glad.
All right. So you choke on a bone in your tater tots. All right.
Why
Where-
are there both-
Where's your back
They're bone-in tots.
This tater tot has an actual bone.
Bone in tots. So he takes you over to Alpha Site, which at this point is abandoned and it's boarded up, so you can't really like can't really get inside unless you break in. But he takes you around and he points out some of the the places. It's more like a what's the term? Like a rock quarry rather than like a mine, especially this original one. So it's like a big looping, go down and down as you get to the lower levels. Then there's an actual mine in there, but they did a lot of the mining out here as well, like as they kind of built the path down and down. So there's some old discarded equipment here, but yeah, for the most part, there's not much going on. But yeah, he points out various things and kind of explains, and as mundane as it is, he does seem rather knowledgeable, and he definitely seems to be a bit of a historian as far as what's going on the colony, as far as you can tell.
Well, he's got a lot of time on his hands, obviously, and there's clearly not NASCAR on the colony, so.
Well, best we got is them ATVs. Sometimes, when we have a few too many, I'll tell you, the marshal isn't too happy when we go doing that. But, it's all fun and games. You got to do something to blow off some steam here. I guess it's that, or better that than a bunch of drunks running around with guns and causing all sorts of mischief. So, Jones likes it, although he never tells that to the marshal. But I think if Jones was in charge, we'd probably have a league or something.
Low key, like quarry ATV racing sounds fun.
Oh yeah. This is perfect, right? It's a big round multi-circle. So we've had a few people spill off and maybe not quite make it, but that's. It happens in NASCAR. Cars blow up and they crash, and oh, God bless. Moment of silence for Mr. Earnhardt.
200 years ago?
That man was a goddamn legend, all right? Don't you forget it.
I pray to him every night.
As you should.
Yeah, dear Dale, please let my dreams race as hard as your heart.
That's right. There was only one eliminator. There'll never be another.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, man. I believe you.
It's Todd is for him.
That's right.
Y'all are dark.
Oh.
That was great.
So do we want to look into this one or the new one, or what do you think?
Closes the window.
Damn.
Shouldn't we be finding that specific person?
More tots for me.
I feel like this is kind of pointless until we talk to that fucking guy, right?
I guess while we're driving around, I'll use my binoculars, see if I can notice anything.
Sure, give me a observation test, please. I think the binoculars give you +2.
No.
It's just like an empty colony, You just look at it, it's like, oh, more rocks. Oh, old
More
building.
rocks and more tots.
Yep.
Surprised the NPC hasn't commented on the sergeant's sweet sunglasses. They're probably look like Oakley's or something,
Or his sick ass
Rednecks
fucking
love
watch.
that shit.
Yeah, they're Prada. Yeah.
How can you afford Prada on a sergeant's salary?
Just be good at your job.
Damn.
I mean, I'm
He's
actually
doing-
connected to
He's doing something
Nepo
on the
baby
table.
shit. Something's bullshit here. I don't know. This is
Maybe you should
so-
try selling crystals for a living.
selling crystals. Okay, meth, crystal meth. Are we talking about crystal meth?
No. The meditation crystals.
Oh, your weird home planet orgy thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got
yeah.
a
Cool.
business over there where I make some passive income.
So O'Connell, as they close the window and they're discussing things in back, At this point, Earl's kind of taking you guys back up to leave this area. And he's like, so you have any idea how long your crew's going to be in town for? You're going to be taking off soon?
Oh, we're just making sure that everything's in good shape on the ship. We don't have exactly like, we got a deadline, but we don't have a deadline. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I get it. You guys freelance or you guys corporate?
I look down to see if we have any corporate like uniforms on. Oh yeah, no, we're freelance. Sometimes the corporations they hire us out.
Oh sure, yeah.
Well, so we sometimes we drag our feet when we find a good colony with some good drinks, and some good sights to see. Might get an earful from the boss, but it ain't a big deal.
Yeah, well, you'll be stuck back in cryo in no time anyway, so what's the rush, right? What's the rush just to get froze again?
Exactly, Earl. You know exactly where I'm coming from. I feel like we're kindred spirits.
Well, I did my fair share of cryo travel and such before I ended up here, but I've been here for quite a long time now, so I think all that excitement and adventure is kind of behind me at this point.
You don't say. Why is the new site off limits?
Well, so originally, we still hope there's probably going to be.
I saw that private.
There's going to be some more ore to mine down there, but it hasn't been properly mapped out yet. And they first sent a few people in there. And there's lots of natural tunnels and caves, and so they don't want anybody getting lost. And we're a big operation, but we're a big operation to keep the mines going, and that takes up pretty much all the colony's time and resources. There's a few other folks here that do things here and there, like there's a geological station, but again, that's all tied to what the colony's for, finding different spots that look good to prospect and hopefully find some more some more goods to dig out. So they've got a like an outlook up there. It was a natural cave that they found. And so it's a planet where we've been finding lots of goodies to dig. So, let's go check the cave. And it turns out the cave is a whole tunnel network system. And so they haven't mapped it all out yet. They want to make sure it's safe and nobody gets lost, because the last thing we need is to have to go fish somebody's ass out of a tunnel when we've already got plenty of tunnels to deal with ourselves, So why risk it until we know it's worth the biscuit?
I wonder if they maybe operate on any kind of commission, because I got my buddy Herschel back there. He's pretty keen. We might be able to find a deposit or two, maybe make some side cash while we're here and help you guys out at the same time.
That might be a question for you probably have to go through like the higher ups, because it's a corporate run establishment, so you got to go through all the hoops and loops of Seegson. Maybe there might be something like that, or maybe they could hire you as freelancers, but like I said, they all the resources are kind of tied up in what's going on now. I imagine if one of these other two mines was to peter out, then we'd have some folks and personnel freed up, and we would probably focus more on that to make sure that we don't end up with 0 mines. But right now they got 2. One's been going for a while, and one just started up a couple years ago. So if it lasts anywhere as long as the first one, then they're probably going to be many more years before we got to worry about what's down in them tunnels. But
so they're probably not watching it too close. You think maybe we could get a head start and maybe go in there and take a look for ourselves and see if it's even worth our time?
Oh no, they watch it. They got an outlook station up there that it looks over the like the whole entrance and that valley that it goes down into. So they put that forward outpost up there. They do some minor mapping, but it's a skeleton crew. But their job is mostly to make sure nobody goes messing around and getting lost or hurt. So
that's run by Seegson.
Well, yes, it's colony folks. I mean, most of us are Seegson. There's Hyperdyne's got a few crews out here, but it's primarily Seegson.
Can you show us the watchtower?
Sure. Yeah. So you guys have to take the long ways. You can see, you got to go all the way around down here, and then get to this road, and then make your way up this road. Once you get to right here, you can see it starts spiraling down. This is like a valley. So this path goes down until you're basically at the base of like a valley, and there's a cave entrance there. And above the cave, up on like the mountain, not the mountain, but the wall of the rock, so to speak, you can see it's like kind of like a ranger station tower that they built there. So it overlooks the valley, and it's almost directly above the entrance, which is, maybe 200-300 feet below this tower. So the tower has an excellent view of and it's just this one path that's kind of been carved / worn out. So, and you can see, and yeah, you see there's a big old cave entrance. There's probably some minor, as in like small equipment around here. There's probably like some sort of gate or barricade set up, but you can easily get like over it. But it's obvious that they're watching, and they have a single camera set up watching the entrance.
Yeah. Hey Earl, I had a drink or two back there. You mind if I step over here and have a piss real quick?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no worries.
So I go to the back of the truck and start having a piss, and talk to you guys while I'm doing that.
Yeah,
My arms like this and kind of like
and I just quietly relay him everything that we just discussed.
Herschel says, so what exactly is the plan here?
we still have to meet the contact. Are we fucking around with this?
You don't want to enjoy your tots?
The tots are great. I want to
Then
get
why
the
you
mission.
complaining?
Sarge, come on, you have to see we have a mission due. I want to get the mission done and fuck off this planet where enemies are everywhere, right?
Yeah, I get it. It's covert. We gotta get some relations going, and we don't know if we're gonna need his backup for any like information wise. So it's nice to heal over and give him some.
I'm not sure we all needed to go on a joyride though.
It's
We spent,
recon, boys. It's recon.
We spent 2 hours reconning something we don't know if we need to do.
We need to know the layout of the place. What are you talking about?
Better safe than sorry.
We're better off at the bars. There's
I'm
nobody out there.
I'm gonna agree with Tagar here. Like, we should have been at the bars and gone to the specific bar we needed to go to at least talk to the guy we needed to talk to, right?
O'Connell, I think Cruz here is time to go up in the front seat.
Me, Cruz, and
Please.
Herschel can go back. You guys can enjoy your ride.
Yeah.
Go recon.
You two go enjoy these mines and this random shit you guys are fucking on. Tagar,
if you guys make it back, you make it back. If not, we'll
if they don't
let
make
command.
it back, that's
We'll
a
let
big
command
issue.
know. We'll let command know that you tried your best.
Oh, is that your expert opinion split up right now? And the colony, we're not unknown colony. We don't know anybody in except Earl.
I mean, Earl's not really helping us out here. We could have been meeting people over at the bar.
Well, maybe some of you, but let's speak up. I'm over here drinking, man. I can only drink so much before I start doing things I can't,
O'Connell, are you
apologize for
okay?
later.
Is everything good?
I got a lot on my mind.
Okay.
I don't
Well-
blame him. I'd be drinking too if I was back in that front seat.
All right.
Earl's a good guy. That's not Earl.
We're not targeting Earl here, but we have someone we need to talk to, and they seem like 10 miles in the opposite direction that we went. That's
Let's
the
fucking
issue.
go.
Okay, let's just go back to civilization, and we will find the person
I
we
can
need.
see the building from here. We're not that far. Come on,
Yeah,
I know it seems like that because he drives 10 miles a fucking hour. Oh, I'm out of piss. All right.
All right, tell him to go back to the fucking bars.
All right, you get back in the cab?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, Earl, this is really embarrassing, but you see, he points back at Tagar. You see him. He saw this smoking hot chick back at the bar, and he really wants to go back. Sorry.
I'm sorry, who are you pointing to? To Cruz?
Tagar.
Oh,
Tagar.
Tagar. Okay.
Tagar.
Yeah,
Tagar. I'm like, Tagar? Like, who the fuck is Tagar?
It is.
You remember seeing that chick back in the bar? She was like 300 pounds. He's really interested, so he really wants to go back.
Oh, well, the heart wants what it wants, so I can't fault a man.
It's a lot of extra cushion.
Besides, we're out of tots anyway, so this ride's gonna get a whole lot more uninteresting, I think. So, yeah, all right. Well, we'll make our way back, and I can fill the silence with another 40 minutes of dialogue, which he does. And yeah, it's even worse because now you're driving like up this hill, and it feels like you're going even slower.
Oh god, I can feel my buzz wearing off.
I'll make sure to keep the little window closed.
And yeah, eventually you guys get back to the bar, and he'll drop you guys off, and at this point it's been a while. He's probably got stuff to do, or maybe it's getting later in the day, so he's like, unless you need anything else, I think I got a couple other things to take care of, and it's I gotta get some rest. I got an early shift tomorrow too, so but y'all seem like nice fellas, so I wanted to extend our hospitalities as best I could.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Earl.
Can you point us in the direction of the other two bars, just in case we want to, explore around the other bars, maybe get some other women?
Oh yeah. You just want to head up the main road here, and you just ask around. You'll find gatekeepers real easy.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you gentlemen have a good night, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. And yeah, I think I'm gonna get some beauty sleep pretty soon here, so I'll catch you around.
Sweet dreams, Earl.
Dream of
he
nice
waves
top.
his Seegson cap to you, and he takes off.
It's so hard to not saying Earl with like a little Texan accent. I'm struggling.
So do you guys split up, or do you stay together? What's the plan of attack here? Do you contact Weaver at all, who's been alone now for 3-4 hours? Probably bored out of her mind.
Yeah. Can hear the music playing from over here.
She's listening to ancient rock still.
Ancient? How dare you?
I mean,
It's only 200 years old.
she's basically the equivalent of someone listening to Middle Ages music now.
I know people like that, and they're unbearable.
Middle Ages music. Yeah.
Yet turn to ye old fans.
Ye old music.
Yeah, great. So should we kind of stagger our way into gatekeepers, or?
I say that's where we go. That's where we were told the contact would be.
Yeah. Yep.
But I don't know. Maybe you might want to stay here a little bit and get some more tots.
Nope. I was the one that wanted.
Tagar
and I wanted to go to gatekeepers.
I think we're good here.
Okay, great. Let's go to gatekeepers.
We're going to gatekeepers. All right.
I like the name of that bar. I don't know what it is. It's something about that name.
It's like they're not going to let me in. I don't know. Is this weird? I'll kind of message Weaver. I'm like, hey, thanks for the soft ride down. I really appreciated it. How's everything going?
She just messages you back the equivalent of a sleeping emoji. And then there's another one that's like basically like shooting herself in the head from boredom.
She's doing great, guys. She's having the best time.
You know, I was thinking of taking some piloting lessons from her next time we're off duty.
Oh. Well, what brought you to think that, huh?
I don't know, the last whiskey I drank, I guess.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'd be thrilled to let somebody fly her planes.
there's like
Hey, we'll
simulation
get
machines,
along.
right?
I think
Yeah,
that's
what's
an excellent.
worse that can happen?
I think that's an excellent choice, O'Connell.
Yeah.
If you want to learn
Thanks,
to fly,
Herschel.
Weaver will. Once you get to know her, she's quite a nice woman, and she is an excellent pilot. So, if you wanted to learn from somebody, she would be the first I would suggest.
Well, yeah, I was thinking maybe when I finally retire, going back home and getting a helicopter, actually.
Doing like little tours over your land.
Nah, just have a helicopter, maybe help out one of the national forests around town. Something
Okay.
quiet.
I've never been on a helicopter. I would like to do that.
I'll invite you, Herschel. When we're back. You're still in one piece, that is.
I hope to be. I would enjoy that. I would accept such an invitation.
Well, now we got to make sure that Herschel survives all of this stuff.
Try not to sound so enthusiastic, Herschel.
I guess even you can come private.
I appreciate that. I got a couple family members that, really like military stuff, so my uncle would love to join. I know, without even talking to him.
I'm sure you have some stories, Private, being related to Secretary de la Cruz and all.
Wait, what?
Yeah. No, this was nothing. It's okay.
You're what? I'm sorry. Repeat that real quick,
Yeah.
Herschel.
Huh?
He turns and he's like, "You did not know? Private Cruz here is, if I'm not mistaken, a cousin of Secretary de la Cruz."
She is my cousin. Yes.
You think I'd be busting his chops this much if I knew he was related to the Secretary of fucking State?
That's why I didn't tell
got
anyone.
bronze so easily.
What does that have to do with anything?
God.
Because
This
O'Connor's
hurt-
a kiss ass.
Herschel looks very confused as to why that matters.
It's okay, Herschel. Don't worry about it.
I heard that.
What?
Tagar. However the fuck you say your last name.
What are you gonna do about it?
Well, you're my commanding officer, so not much.
As you guys are making your way towards gatekeepers, at one point, Herschel's kind of like stepped back, and he's kind of like at the back with you, Cruz, and he says, "I'm sorry, Private. I didn't realize the others didn't know. That was my mistake."
That's okay. They were going to find out eventually.
I would think that would be something you would share with others. No, something you'd be proud of. Secretary de la Cruz is very well respected, from what I understand.
Definitely proud of my cousin. But I don't want people to think that they can't be normal around me without getting some flack from higher up. I mean, I'm new here, and I'm just a private. They should treat me like it. I don't want them to treat me like some kind of special kid.
You see, he's kind of mulling that over, and he's kind of like thinking about that, and he's nodding, and he's like, "I guess I hadn't thought of that from that perspective, but that makes complete sense. I often wish the same thing, that people would not treat me differently just because I'm a synthetic."
Yeah. Well, you're one of the crew, so I'm going to protect you like I protect them as much as I can. But obviously, if I fall in some kind of combat, please carry me with your immense strength.
Of course, it is in my programming Not only am I meant to keep the ship and all of its systems and our equipment in working condition, but my secondary primaries, so to speak, secondary primaries, yes, I think that's correct. My secondary primaries are to ensure the safety of all Colonial Marines, especially those that are in my squad.
Yeah, I get that. I was just kind of joking with you, because you're so much stronger than everyone. If someone's got to carry me, I want it to be you.
Understood.
No, okay. We'll work on the jokes. It'll come eventually.
Yes, Weaver often tells me of these jokes, but I still haven't quite gotten the hang of it.
I'll talk to Weaver. We'll work on it together. We'll get you there.
He gives you a genuine smile as you eventually find yourselves at the Gatekeeper's Bar. It's got an old kind of neon light up sign, and there is basically just a caricature of like a big gate. But it's like this like old Gothic looking gate that you see at like a mansion or something. And it looks a little bit more modern than the last bar you were at. And when you guys get inside, it's a bit more, it's a tiny bit more of like a nightclub vibe. Not like a full-on like dance club or anything, but it's definitely not just a bar like the other place was. Whereas the other place probably had like country music playing. This has got like more modern type music and stuff like that playing, and you can see that there's probably a couple places like tables or like areas where there's dancers at some points. It's getting later in the day, so there probably is like a dancer or two. And yeah, that's kind of what you guys see. It's starting to fill up, it's later in the day, so a lot of people are off shift at this point. And you can see this is probably more of like the middle age crowd, whereas the last bar was definitely the older crowd. So you guys fit in more here than you did at the last place, for sure. You're probably on the younger side to most of these people. These are probably like 30s, 40s, but the last bar was like 50s and 60s. Like these people need to retire and not be working in a mine, but here we are.
That's capitalism.
Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of people starting to fill up, and you can see some music starting to play, and the scene is starting to pick up a little bit. What do you all do?
We go get a drink.
Yeah, I start to schmooze.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around the room and see if I see anyone that would give off the impression of like, ex-Marine.
Give me an observation roll, please.
Jesus.
Oh.
Oh, nothing really strikes your fancy. Everybody here looks like a colonist or a working class person, so no one. I mean, the people that really stick out are like the couple dancers, maybe that are starting to come out, and there's probably like a security guard, but it's just a big dude who's standing by the door. It's not like a full armed guard or anything like that, and yeah, the bartender, probably sticks out a little bit more. She's a little bit more nicely dressed than some of the others.
She's gonna grab a drink and sit on down at the bar.
Okay. Well, things go on for, as long as you guys kind of sit here. Eventually, some more dancers come out, and it starts to pick up a little bit. The bar gets a lot more lively as you get towards probably like 9 or 10 at night, and unless there's anything particular you guys do, nothing out of the ordinary really seems to be happening.
I'm gonna, while I'm having drinks, look for anybody who's kind of sitting on their own.
Oh sure, you'll probably see somebody like that, no problem.
With like a fair build to not like a fat, like middle-aged dude, or someone who would have a military physique, maybe. Wink.
Well, you do find someone that fits like a larger build description, who's kind of keeping to himself. What do you say? What do you do?
What do they look like other than
Uh,
that?
dude looks like he's fairly sunburned. Probably been out working a lot. You can see he's got a bit of a driving tan going on one of his arms, and he's got stubble. He's shaven, but looks like he probably hasn't shaved in like 2-3 days. And otherwise, big strong jaw, and he's got kind of short cropped black hair. Looks like he's probably 30-ish.
I don't say anything to him. I go back to the bar.
Okay. You can see Herschel, he can't, being an android, he can't drink and eat. It's just he doesn't need to. He kind of looks to Cruz, and then he looks to Tagar, and he's like, how exactly do you suggest we find this Marine?
I'm gonna say, hey Cruz, just go with it, and I'm going to push him into the bar and say, hey, that was my drink you knocked over.
Man.
And start a fight with him.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Let's see. What kind of role should we do for this? How about... I would say either... I'll let you pick. Survival, manipulation, or close combat. Manipulation will kind of be like you're trying to act, basically.
Okay.
Close combat is more like you're really just trying to fight. So you're putting more of a physical effort into this to make it look real. And survival is it's a little bit of both. I guess the best way to put it.
Well,
I'll go with survival because I don't want to put Cruz into the ground.
yeah. Cruz would do manipulation, trying to make it look like a good fight, but he's trying to look like he's disengaging and sorry.
Okay. All right, we both have a success, so you do make it convincing to most of the people that are sitting there watching. And there's a bit of commotion now. And you see a couple people starting to get up and shout and cheer, and a couple drinks get splashed and thrown and things like that. And O'Connell and Schmidt, you guys basically see the two of them are getting into a fight, basically.
O'Connell's had a few drinks by this point, and he's gonna see what is going on. And he is going to get right in it, and he is going to shove Lance Corporal Tagar.
Oh, okay.
The fuck's your problem? Lay off the rookie!
Rookie? He's got more heart than you do. I'm going to push you right back.
Oh, boy. Okay. Why don't you both give me opposed strength tests, and we'll see... close combat. We'll see what happens.
I'm definitely losing this.
Not by much. Unless you want to push it.
Push it.
Okay, so the other both
1-1.
pretty good shoves. It's there's no one backs down, and there's one shove, and then there's another shove after that. So, yeah, you see like people like really starting to take notice of this, and Schmidt, Herschel staring at you like he is unsure like what to do here. He has no idea what your guys are up to right now.
I'm just
Yeah,
sitting back,
and
smiling, like letting it happen.
Can Cruz sort of like slink his way out of the fight towards the guy that O'Connell had like zeroed in on?
Sure.
What do you say?
Well, O'Connell thinks this is real, and he is actually getting aggressive.
Oh, okay.
Whether or not you can tell, though, I think
It makes it look real, which is good.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
So yeah, the two of you have a good shoving standoff, but neither of you back down, and no one seems to have the advantage here. So
No, well, if nobody breaks it up, there's only one other next step, right, Eric?
yeah, nobody breaks it up.
I mean, I can throw you over the bar.
Yeah, he's got to turn into a real fight. We got to get dramatic with this.
Well, who takes the first swing or punch or move? Oh. Right, O'Connell, what do you do?
That was me.
Yeah, and what are you trying to do though?
Oh, I'm trying to punch my superior officer.
Okay. Well, Tagar, if you want to give me a close combat roll to try to block that.
It seems very Colonial Marine though to fight
While drunk.
while drunk.
You both have 2 successes, so there's a few punches back and forth, but both of you kind of block left and right. And now the crowd is like, this is a spectacle. Like, you guys both seem to know what you're doing, and no one's really managed to gain the upper hand. Cruz, you've slinked off. You found this guy. What do you say or do?
I will like slump down into the chair right next to him. Can I get a drink for me and my friend here? Oh my god, what are these guys doing?
He looks over to you and he's like, what's wrong with your crew there, buddy?
I'm kind of the new one on the crew, so that sometimes they push me around, and one or two of them get a little defensive. I don't know. They're a little bit more drunk than usual, so decided to pull back and just let it happen.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
My name's George, and I extend my hand to him.
Oh, he says Simon.
Nice to meet you, Simon. I'm George Lopez.
Very nice.
Cool.
Well, what do you do around here?
I work the power loaders.
Nice. Pretty built. You been here long?
He looks at you like what the fuck is this about?
Stools are getting flung across like behind him. Like this is a big scene.
I mean,
Now you're hitting on this one guy.
You came over, right? That's exactly what's coming through his mind. You came over, you're like, hey, a drink for me and my friend, and then you're like, you're kind of built.
Pretty brawly, dude. What do you do for your like workouts? You do creatine or something?
He totally thinks you're hitting on him, and the look on his face is like,
Great.
I don't swing that way, brother.
Yeah, unintended, but you have great confidence for yourself.
You got great calves.
Confidence, I said.
Oh
But
my
okay.
god.
Nice
Oh
calves,
my
bro.
god.
Calves too, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't look, but yeah, really nice calves for your jeans.
Do you run a
Well,
lot?
I don't have any clever cliffhangers for tonight, folks. I did not think we were going to spend as much time as we did with Earl. So
Here you go. Will they or will they not kiss in the next episode?
I definitely won't.
Definitely not,
at
but
least
that's okay.
If Simon has anything to say about it. Yeah. So I don't have anything clever or cliffhangers for tonight. But we'll see what you goons get up to next time. and then we will be off for a week for Gen Con. So there won't be any interruption in the schedule, listeners. We'll either have a fill-in episode or we'll just pick up and keep going. So, like again, we'll see if we get anything recorded at the con. But we'll be back next week, and then we will continue as we dive into where's the android and where's Lieutenant Morgan. Well, tune in next time and we'll find out. So thank you all as always. We will see you same time, same place. Signing off.